It's a win for you and the environment. A Culligan high-efficiency water softener helps you use less soap, less detergent, and fewer chemicals. Talk about a game-winning play. Try Culligan today for 12 months interest-free. Visit Culligan.com for more information and to schedule your free water test. Or just say,
"Hey, Culligan man!"
X3.
Welcome on in, folks. It is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Colin, Russo, and Mike Rizzo live from Duffy's here in Plantation, a little bit south of where we usually are in West Palm. But we are close to Hard Rock Stadium, where tonight you have the national championship in college football. The Miami Hurricanes sitting at 2 losses against the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers. Going to be a 50-50 split at Hard Rock Stadium, despite it being in Miami's home stadium. It is going to be a competitive game in which both fan bases travel. Looking forward to that. We got you up until 6 p.m. today. Got a lot to talk about, a lot to do with a packed divisional weekend on the NFL side of things. You have a couple coaching changes throughout the past couple of weeks, and we're looking forward to getting into all of it, especially with what's going on with the Buffalo Bills. We got Mike Rizzo back next to me as we're going to have you for the next 3.5 hours. Mike, welcome in. How you doing today?
Yeah, I appreciate you holding down the fort, Colin, while I was gone.
Sick as a dog.
I had some family up north who came down, and let's just say they brought the bubonic plague. Obviously, I'm overreacting, but they gave me a bug in which I had to be out for an extended amount of time. Appreciate you, Christian, and Theo covering for me, but I'm ready to get back to work. It was one of those things, Kyle, where you do nothing for so long. You can only watch so much TV and play so many video games until you go nuts.
You sat around?
Oh, my God, I was miserable.
What was the worst day?
Definitely the day after I got sent home from work. So
was that Tuesday you got sent home?
No, Wednesday I walk in, and the night before I was with the Flagler boys. We were at TGL. We had a great time there. For all of your banking needs, go to Flagler Credit Union, folks, 4 locations in South Florida.
So back to your plague story.
But yes, so I walk in, and that morning something felt off. You know what I mean? I worked out. I was breathing heavier, because I run my 3 miles every day. I was breathing heavier on the treadmill, started to get a little stuffed up, and I started sweating. Like profuse, not profusely, but I started sweating. I look at Courtney, who's our marketing facilitator, and I went over to
marketing,
her.
Consultant.
Marketing consultant went over to her, who was with me the night before. I said, "Do you feel bad?" She goes, "No, I feel great." I said, "I think I got sick." And then sure enough, our HR Anna from HR says, "Riz, go home." Brian,
I saw you didn't look healthy.
Brian looks at me, he said, "Riz, go home." I got overruled. I wanted to work, got overruled. And then I woke up the next morning and, 100-degree fever. Throat was closed. Nose was all stuffed up. And it lasted for about 3 days. So I appreciate you guys covering it. I was bored to tears. Ended up catching up on House of Dragon. I was, Colin is Mr. Movie buff and TV show buff. Kid knows he's an encyclopedia for all of it. I was picking his brain.
Not as much with the shows.
I was picking his brain the entire time down to our Duffy's here in Plantation. But good to be back. I was bored to tears and had a lot of good football, had some bad football, and I'm excited for a national champion with our local Miami Hurricanes in the game tonight.
Why, you think the Hurricanes are going to win tonight?
No chance. No chance. But it's okay. It's fun to be in the game. I think Mario Cristobal brought the team back on. Like, is Miami back? Yeah, absolutely Miami's back. I could argue they've been back since Mario took over. But this was a big stepping stone for the program. But they will be runner-up tonight. Yeah,
we'll get into the further part of the actual national championship, which is coming up 7:30 p.m. on ESPN tonight, as we got you up until 5 p.m., 6 p.m., I should say, live here on Russo and Rizzo. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X, YouTube at ESPN South Florida, and Twitter/Facebook at ESPN West Palm. Should be a grand old time. 888-760-3776, number to get into the program. Got a little bit of national championship. If you got a hot take, a hot preview, a hot prediction for tonight's game, call on in and let us know. 888-760-3776, number to get into the program on Russo and Rizzo. Big story out of the NFL this morning after the divisional weekend was Sean McDermott, the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, was dismissed from the team, fired randomly at around 9, 10 in the morning, and they are moving on from Sean McDermott, 2 days removed from their divisional round loss. 33-30 to the Denver Broncos on the road. They have went basically 7 straight years where they have gotten absolutely nothing done in the postseason, 2019 to 2026. They've lost 4 times in the divisional round, 2 times in the wild card, and 2 times in the AFC Championship game. No Super Bowl appearances, no Super Bowl rings, and they're going to be searching for a new coach.
Yeah, and if you're a loyal listener to Russo and Rizzo, Colin and I told you this 6 months ago, that if McDermott doesn't get to a Super Bowl, he wasn't going to be in a job. I think it's the right move. I think it's the right move. You saw how distraught the team was. You saw how distraught the quarterback was after losing that game in Denver. And when you have a superstar like Josh Allen and you keep falling short, you got to change something. Running it back. What's the old saying? When you keep failing and you keep doing the same thing, that's the definition of insanity.
The same way, yes.
I think that's what happened there with McDermott and with their quarterback, Josh Allen. But right move. Right move. I don't know. I'm not under the impression, like, I don't want to say everybody else, but from everything I've heard and people talking about Sean McDermott is that he's this guy who's going to raise the floor. I personally think the floor was raised because of the quarterback and the GM. I know the GM gets a tough time. He's not good with the media and in front of a microphone. But I think the team outside of the receivers was pretty well constructed. They need to work on the defense. They need to work on a couple of things. I just don't know if Sean McDermott is the floor raiser, is what I'm looking for, not ceiling raiser. I don't think McDermott is the floor raiser that maybe a Harbaugh and a Tomlin are that people are making him out to be.
Here's a fun fact. If you're a Bills fan trying to wonder about the potential chances of Josh Allen and that Bills team eventually getting to a Super Bowl, now, according to this year, it's going to take Josh Allen at least 8 playoff runs in his career to reach his first Super Bowl. That has never been done before in the NFL. Every other quarterback who has done it and made it has made it between trips 1 through 7 in the postseason. That means we're talking about, Tom Brady, Favre, Manning, Roethlisberger, Rodgers, Joe Montana, Drew Brees, Dan Marino, John Elway. All these guys have gotten to their first Super Bowl within their first 7 trips, and Josh Allen will need more.
I was going to ask about Elway because I forget that
they made 2 Super Bowl
runs.
They
did, and it was bad. He just never won the big one. I'm not buying into that. I think Allen wins the Super Bowl. I do. I know. You
know what's funny?
I think they win in Buffalo.
Here's the thing I don't like about Buffalo. And I think Buffalo made the right move by getting rid of Sean McDermott, but I disagree with keeping the general manager around. If you're going to do it, axe it. If you know you got the roster there in place. And fun fact, Brandon Beane in the past couple of years have drafted 56 players, 2 of which have made Pro Bowls, James Cook and Dawson Knox. They have not drafted very well at all. And we're sitting here at the midpoint in the season when everybody and their mother knew that Buffalo needed a receiver, and they didn't go get one.
Yep.
Keon Coleman, who was a highly touted, highly drafted pick out of Florida State, has been a complete bust. And he was a healthy scratch throughout the year, and he had a terrible drop in the back of the end zone in the playoff game, and he has not been a reliable commodity to that team. The one thing they have nailed is Josh Allen. That's the one thing they've nailed. They've had a good defenses in pretty much year in and year out. They're aging out a little bit. They've drafted well in the defensive line. But this has not been a team that was properly – it's not been an A-plus construction. So if you're going to get rid of McDermott, in my opinion, you got to get rid of the general manager too.
That's fair. And I did just say I actually do think the GM has done a decent job. The draft picks are shocking.
And he's known as a good general manager.
It's a good stat. I'm happy you brought it up because that is a shocking stat about the draft picks. In my opinion, it's kind of similar to Kansas City. Kansas City was able to do a bunch of winning, and they haven't been able to draft well really at all. So, listen, I'll hear you. I think it's more with the bad teams where you go blow it up. It just didn't work. This is tinkering, right? Getting rid of McDermott is tinkering. And the GM's bad with the media. Like the fans, the Buffalo fans, from what I've read, they are with you. They want it completely blown up, find new people for Josh Allen, and take the Bills into a new direction. I got to say, partner, I thought the Bills got the short end of the you-know-what in that game.
Well, before we get into the
actual big issue about how that game ended, and I think we could be talking about different things at this point.
Now,
but go ahead.
The Bills announced that Brandon Beane, the general manager of the team, is going to spearhead the new coaching search. And the stat officially is since drafting Josh Allen in 2018, they drafted 56 players, 2 Pro Bowlers.
Yep.
James Cook and Dawson Knox. 2 out of 56. I know Pro Bowl is a popularity contest, but the Bills are plenty popular.
Well, you look at good players. You look at what players have been, kind of cornerstone players. You can't hit on all of them. I understand that, but 2 in about 50, whatever it is, it's pretty crazy.
And
it's pretty crazy at this point.
It's abundantly clear that the Bills were devoid of offensive talent, especially at the receiver position. But if you're going to say all of that, the Bills still scored 30 points in a game in which they turned the ball over 5 times, 4 of which by their quarterback, and they still lost the game.
They had no business being in the game.
So
they had no business being in that game.
Let's get into that Bill-Bronco game. 33-30 overtime. It was a 20-10 halftime lead after a terrible Josh Allen turnover, which gave the Broncos a free field goal. But they rumbled their way back. They were able to actually take a lead in which Bo Nix is able to go right down the field, score a touchdown of his own. And then you go around the other way where Josh Allen, Matt Prater, hit a field goal as time essentially expires in the regulation to force overtime. Each team, Broncos get the ball first. Bills forced to stop. Bills get the ball at their own 6-yard line, get a couple first downs, and then a pass down the middle of the field to Brandon Cooks was caught, not caught, ripped out of the hands by McMillan, one of their defensive backs for the Broncos. They return it a little bit. They get 2 straight pass interference penalties, one of which was a dicey call, and the other of which, in my opinion, was a good call. They essentially, the flags take them right down the field. They get the ball at the 10-yard line. They kick a field goal. Bo Nix hurts his ankle. He's out for the next game, and the Broncos move on. What did you not like about this game?
For the record, I think both. The Tre'Davious White one,
the second one that put them at the 10-yard line.
So that, I probably wouldn't have.
I would call that. I think that was a good call.
Okay.
I do.
And then the first one.
First one was a nonsense.
Here's my issue. If you're going to call the 2 pass interferences that the Bills had on the Bronco offense, PI, you got to call the McMillan one a PI. Call it both ways. The McMillan interception, that was pass interferences, backwards of the ball. He was there early. Like, at the time when it was called, they said, okay, that's how they're calling the game now. You know what I mean? That's how they're calling it. I just feel like the Bills, I don't think it was called fairly. Okay, I said, okay, they're going to let him play. When McMillan for Denver had the interception, he was there early, back to the ball. I said, all right, the referees are going to let them play.
You didn't have a problem with it being called a catch versus an interception. You have a problem that it should have been called a pass interference.
The other 2 weren't PIs if that one wasn't a pass interference.
Here's the problem.
If you're going to call the game that way, you got to call it both sides. That's my thing. You got to call it both sides here.
The first pass interference you're talking about was a laughable call. Terrible call. It got the Broncos 17 yards of offense. The same play, there was a roughing the passer penalty by Joey Bosa, which was clear as day.
Yeah,
and
that's fine.
And they declined it. So that's really, in my mind, like a negligible penalty.
I'm just talking about calls. Like, if you're going to call those 2 a pass interference on Buffalo, it was a pass interference on the interception.
Well,
that's the issue I had with the game. And it turned into a ref show. You drove them right down the field. Bo Nix didn't even have to make any plays in that game. That's the issue.
He made plays in the game, not in that drive.
Sorry. He didn't have to make any plays on that final drive to get the final field goal in the game winner during the game. If you're going to call the Buffalo Bills PI on that, McMillan was there early, and it should have been called a pass interference.
Well, hold on. Did you think it was an interception versus a catch? There are the Dan Orlovsky went blazed running on his Twitter talking about how he thought that was a catch. Richard Sherman said the same thing. Do you think it was an interception?
It's a 50-50 call, and they decided to give it to the defender.
They had a very quick review when they went to.
I could hardly blame the referees for that, if I'm being completely honest. I could hardly blame them.
Yep.
What the issue I had is I don't think it was called both ways, and they gave Denver favoritism in my eyes on the pass interferences for Buffalo.
Yeah, I disagree with you.
I think the McMillan breakup and interception was more interference than any of the 2.
Yeah, the thing about it is I'll say it. I think the referees got every call right.
Okay,
fair
enough.
Fair
enough.
I hate, to your point, as a football fan, you hate to see a game like the Bills-Broncos end that way. You hate to see the referees get so involved that essentially they hand the game away. But the one thing I would say to console Buffalo fans, if you're going to sit here and tell me that you got screwed all game when your quarterback making $55 million had 4 turnovers, 2 interceptions, and 2 fumbles, which is the first time that's happened since essentially Kerry Collins in 2000. But if you're going to have that, and Josh Allen not only miss an open touchdown to Dalton Kincaid down the seam route on that final drive when they kicked the field goal.
Yep.
You're going to have him throw on that 2nd and 11 before he threw the pass to Brandon Cooks. He had McCole Hardman on a deep out, which was low.
To the sideline.
And they all said it was McCole Hardman's fault. Hold on, he's wide open.
Right.
Can we get the ball in his chest?
Right.
So that was another one that I had a problem with because that would have got them in a game-winning field goal position too.
Listen.
That was another misfire. He had the terrible terrible, laughable fumble the last play before halftime when he's scrambling for the ball and he laterals it backwards, gives Denver a 2-second-to-go field goal. Josh Allen lost them this game. I am not going to sit here and say that the referees screwed them when Josh Allen turned the ball over 4 times. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair. And you know what I don't like about the Bills? And I think this has been kind of a recurring theme, I would even say since the 90s. When the Bills lose, it's about sympathy. But when every other team loses, it's about criticism. You know, we come to look at the Bills and we sympathize when they lose.
Four Super Bowls, Cal. What's 4 Super Bowls?
We feel bad. You know, they had such a terrible loss, the 13-second game. You know, they got screwed last year on the QB sneaks. This year with the penalties. You go back to the 90s, you get the missed field goal. You got, Jim Kelly gets hurt against the Cowboys in the first half. Like, you get all that, and you look at it and you sympathize. But if the Ravens did this, or if the Packers did this, you'd criticize. And that's just the truth. And we look at the Bills from a perspective of we are apologetic for their misfortunes and shortcomings. But I think that needs to change. This is a game that Josh Allen needed to win. And this is a game that the Bills had every opportunity to win. You had the ball in overtime. They are 0-3 in overtime playoff games, the Bills. Josh Allen is 0-7 in overtime games in his career.
Yep.
At a certain point, we're going to have to look inward and think we are a little bit underachieving.
It's a bad day for me because I said leading into this game that Allen is the no doubt best player in the NFL. You know, now it's not that I'm not so sure. I think Josh Allen, Colin, his physicality, his arm, I mean, he is the best player. It reminds me a little bit of like LeBron not winning a championship early on. Now, granted, it didn't take LeBron 8 years to win a championship. I understand all that. But he is the best player in the league. But the issue is when the lights are the brightest, something always happens.
Something always happens.
Something always
happens.
And it's Allen and it's the damn team. The reason people have sympathy for the damn team, Colin, is because it's Buffalo. Something always happens. I mentioned to you last week when I was, healthy and here on Russo and Rizzo, if the Bills don't win with Josh Allen, it'll be the most Bills thing ever. And after watching that game in Denver, it's hard because he lost them the game. He lost them the game. He had 4.
Yeah, you had a drive in overtime. That's all you can say.
He had 4 turnovers.
All you needed is a field goal.
And he had 4 turnovers in the game. It's hard for me to defend him because he had 4 turnovers in a game. There's a statistic, forgive me, I'm shooting from the hip here. There is a statistic on the broadcast that basically said a team that turns the ball over this amount of times on the road is and how many games. And it turned out to be true because Buffalo turned the ball over a tremendous amount of time, and a lot of it was the quarterback, and they ended up losing the game. But where I go to, where I say something always happens, this time it was the referees, in my opinion, being unfair to Buffalo. If you're going to call pass interferences on Buffalo, you got to call it on the McMillan play.
I can't sympathize with that. I thought the Tre'Davious White call was a good call.
Oh, that was terrible. Kyle, it was terrible.
You have to call it.
Explain to me, though, brother.
He played the body, not the ball. That's it. And you know what? I don't like about it?
McMillan did the same thing. That's my pushback.
But here's the thing. He got his hands on the ball. He had his hands on the ball when
Cook
was going to the ground.
caught it.
I know, but he had his hands on the ball when he was going to the ground. So it's a little different. You're playing the ball. Point is, I don't like the Tre'Davious White call because I think it bails out a bad throw. And remember, that throw was after Nix got hurt. So that's part of the reason probably why he had a little less juice on it. And remember, he had to go back. He had him beat. He had to go back and play the ball. And that's when Tre'Davious White, whose head is not turned, plays his body and gets his left arm down. I thought you had to call it. I really did. I thought a let him play moment, I thought it would have been a disservice. And you're telling me that, Buffalo, they should have gotten that call. They're going to call that. You can't play the ball. And I understand the McMillan. I'm surprised you're on the side of pass interference and not the incompletion or the interception versus
It should have been PI. His back is turned, and he's affecting the receiver. He is touching and affecting the receiver before he even catches the ball. And Cooks ends up catching it. And that's not even what I'm complaining about. I'm not complaining about if it was a catch and interception. Rule that out of it. He's there early. He's there early, and he has his back. He has his back to the ball. And I'd be silent as a church mouse if they would have called it fair for Buffalo, too.
If they called that would have finished the game for Buffalo. So to the same token, you hate to see a game ended on a penalty. That would have ended the game on a penalty.
And now selfishly, if I could be selfish for a second, take Buffalo out of it, take Denver out of it. Now I got to watch Jared Stidham in the AFC Championship. I think you want to know something? I think the story here is the NFL had a bad weekend. I think overall the NFL had a bad weekend. Off of that amazing wild card weekend where every game was down in the moment. I'm on the edge of my seat watching these games. I had a bad taste in my mouth in the way that the Bronco game ended. Though I think the only decent game was the final game on Sunday. The final game on Sunday between the Rams and the Bears, where for me, I'm a Caleb Williams and a Bears sympathizer as well. I hate to see Caleb throw the interception, but it was a great game. I mean, we were on the edge of our seat for it, overtime, the whole thing. But outside of that, the NFL had a bad weekend. And as far as matchups, the NFC matchup is great, and the AFC matchup, I mean, geez. New England, who followed the yellow brick road all the way to the AFC Championship, didn't play anybody in the regular season, played C.J. Stroud, who put on one of the worst performances I've ever seen in my life, and that is coming from a Buckeye. That guy, I wouldn't give him a dime if I'm the Houston Texans.
He was awful.
And then now you're going to play the Broncos with a quarterback who should be playing in the Canadian Football League.
All right, don't be
I
fair.
can't do this.
Be fair to Stidham.
I can't do this.
Be fair to Stidham.
No, I'm not going to be fair to Stidham. He should be playing in the Canadian Football League.
Be fair to Stidham. You haven't seen him play yet. But
I saw him play for Buffalo. He was awful.
Well, here's the thing. Now, he was playing the Patriots. Was he on Buffalo, too? He was on the Patriots.
He's been everywhere. Colin. He's a
jerk.
bum. I'm sorry.
He's not a bum. Be fair to Stidham.
I couldn't be fair to no.
When he wins a game, don't look at me.
That's going to be an awful watch.
You know what I want? Stidham having a great game, and somebody's going to pay him $25 million a year to start for quarterback.
Oh,
next
God.
Year. That's what I want. Nonetheless, back to that Bill Bronco game. Here's the thing. The bottom line is they got rid of Sean McDermott. We'll get into whether they should have or they should have got rid of the general manager or they should have ran it back. This has been 7 years running, and they always lose in a similar fashion. This was the year with no excuses. Well, hold on. Well, they had to play road games. Well, you had to play road games because you didn't win your division. And you didn't win the games you should have. And you had terrible drop games. You could bring up Atlanta. You could bring up Houston on Thursday Night Football. You could bring up the Patriots the first time around. You could bring up the Dolphins in Miami. You had bad losses. So this is not, the Patriots are too good. It's hard to catch up. No. You guys lost games you shouldn't have. So that's number one. Number two is for 7 years running now, Josh Allen is 30 years old. I'm not saying he's not done next year, but he's 30 years old. We've done this a lot. He got an MVP last year, in which, in my opinion, he deserved, but it was very cutthroat with him and Lamar Jackson, who had another outstanding year. And we love proclaiming Josh Allen as the great one. Everybody's greater than Patrick Mahomes until it's time to be greater than Patrick Mahomes. And Josh Allen had opportunities to be greater. He had a drive at the end of regulation where he needed a touchdown to win. He couldn't do it. And he had a drive, the second drive of overtime, where he just needed points, and he couldn't do it. That right there, that offense's fault right there, when there were plays left and right where Josh Allen really did cost his team, I can't sympathize. I can't. They're underachievers. That's their theme. That's their legacy. The Bills are going to be known by two eras. The era in the 90s in which they underachievers.
Hang on.
Yes, little unfortunate. And then they're going to be known, at least to this point, of 10 years where, wow, this team was really, really good, but they accomplished absolutely nothing.
I still think Allen wins one. Give me that stat again about the playoffs. Give me that stat about 8 of the quarterbacks with the 8 years.
So every quarterback who has made a Super Bowl appearance did it in their first 7 postseason appearances, and Allen is going on to his 8th.
Hear me out on this. Curses, and I'm going this far. I think Buffalo is cursed, okay? In order to break a curse, you got to do something crazy, right? You got to win it. The Cubs came back down 3-1. The Cavaliers in that, my city, down 3-1 to break that curse. Maybe this is it. Maybe Allen wins one at the back end. I refuse to believe that Josh Allen is not going to win a Super Bowl. And maybe that's my own personal preference for the young man getting in the way. When I look at a franchise quarterback, Josh Allen is everything you want.
And here's the thing.
I think he wins
This is the end of the Sean McDermott era. So 2020 to 2025, Buffalo is 73-27. That leads the NFL. They have scored 2,896 points, and they have allowed 1,994. That point differential is 902. You want to know second place? The Baltimore Ravens at 581.
And remind me, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, same draft. So the whole going to a Super Bowl thing is with Lamar as well.
Buffalo has had a better record than Kansas City in that span. They are a game better. They have had a better point differential by nearly 400 points comparatively to Kansas City. They've had a better record than San Francisco, Baltimore, Green Bay, Tampa, you name it. They have the best point differential and winning percentage of anybody in the last 5 full seasons. Here's another stat. Only 4 teams in the Super Bowl era have won a playoff game in 6 consecutive seasons. 6. Yep. The 1991 to 1996 Dallas Cowboys, they won 3 Super Bowls. The 2011 to 2018 Patriots, they won 3 Super Bowls. And the 2018 to 2024 Kansas City Chiefs, they won 3 Super Bowls. The 4th team, the 2020 to 2025 Buffalo Bills, no Super Bowl appearances.
Let me ask you this, because that
is berserk.
I got into it with my friends last night. They called the Josh Allen, bum choker. Caleb Williams, he's a bum. Who's good, guys? Yeah. Who's good?
I'm not saying he's bad.
Who's good?
He's a great player.
But like when I hear that kind of stuff, it does my head in because listen, the only quarterbacks to win, Mahomes, Brady, and what? Matt Stafford? It's hard to win, guys. It's hard to win. Like the stat you said, Colin, it's interesting, but like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, none of them have been to a Super Bowl yet. It's year, 8 for both of them?
Yeah.
Do one of them win a Super Bowl? Does Allen, it's hard.
And here's the thing, they're both looking for coaches. They're both looking for coaches.
That's why, every era of football is different, in my opinion. Every era of football is different, and I just kind of, I get defensive over that kind of stuff because, what? You want everyone to beat Tom Brady? You want everyone to beat Patrick Mahomes? Guys, those don't grow on trees. Those are the 2 best quarterbacks
Here's the thing.
of all time.
Don't say he's
Eras
better
are different.
Don't say he's better than him. Don't say he's better than him. If he's not, then he's not.
He's better than him as far as
what?
Like right now. That's what I'm trying to explain. Patrick Mahomes isn't the best quarterback in the NFL right now. He was 3 years ago.
Here's the problem. I just listed you out how the Bills are dramatically the biggest underachieving dynasty in the history of the NFL, and there's no doubt. The fact is that every single time we go out here, Josh Allen costed his team yesterday. Yeah, you want to talk about the 13-second game? Yeah, not totally his fault. Totally understand. You want to talk about the game where he didn't get the ball back in OT? Totally understand. You want to talk about last year when they ran 2 straight quarterback sneaks, couldn't get it when they had a chance to win the game? That I could pin on the quarterback as well. I could pin that on him. And you want to talk about yesterday or 2 days ago against the Broncos, I could pin a lot of that game on Josh. I could pin most of that game on Josh. At a certain point, you're going to need to be a great player and win a game and will your team to victory because that's been the theme. Everybody knew that the Buffalo Bills were going to need to be willed by that quarterback, and he wasn't able to do it. And I understand. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I am not saying he's a bad player. I am saying he's an underachiever.
I could see him being a bit like Stafford, of maybe on the back end picking up a Super Bowl.
Stafford never made postseasons. This guy's making
postseasons.
He's
but
right
what I'm saying is, Kyle, I think he's good enough. If his body holds up, I think he's good enough to play for a long time in the league.
I do. Agree. I don't disagree with
that.
I
think he's and the more you're there, the more you're in the playoffs year in and year out. Maybe one of these years things are going to go your way.
How many years can
and
you
that's why
say
I
that
that's
before you get sick
that's
to your
why, Kyle. That's why I like the McDermott firing. You have to try something different.
I agree with that.
You got to try something different. I'm not giving up on Allen yet, and for that matter, I probably won't give up.
I don't think anybody. I'm not giving up on him. But I'm saying all I know is what I've seen, and what we've seen is the last 6 years of the Buffalo Bills, and what we know is that they have dramatically underachieved for how good they have been in the regular season. Dramatically underachieved. 4 teams have won, 4 teams in the history of the NFL have won a playoff game in 6 consecutive seasons. I'll say this again. The 91 to 96 Cowboys, they won 3 Super Bowls. The 2011 to 2018 Patriots, they won 3 Super Bowls. The 2018 to 2024 Chiefs, they won 3 Super Bowls, and they've been to more. Same with the Patriots. 2020 to 2025 Bills are the 4th team in that regard to win a playoff game in 6 consecutive seasons. Not a single Super Bowl appearance to their name. To that point, it's hard for me to sympathize. I have to criticize. Buffalo, for some reason, we sit there and we sympathize with them. Oh, we feel bad for the Bill fan. The Bill fan, the Bills, oh, boy, can Josh Allen finally get lucky? At a certain point, you control your own destiny. And they have not stepped up to the plate from a front office perspective, from a coach perspective, and definitely from a quarterback perspective.
I got to do it because you do it with me with Ohio State. Are you bitter because they beat the Jags? Is there a little bitterness there? Trust
I'm
me,
okay,
it's
I'm
fine.
okay with them.
I think Jacksonville wins that game.
What?
If that makes you feel any better. I
What
think then Denver, they win that game.
Yeah, probably. Jacksonville
would have won that game.
I'm over it. Jacksonville, that was a missed opportunity. They got a bad draw. What are you gonna do?
I want to, you're gung ho on Barry and Buffalo.
I am.
Okay.
I am.
I think a little bit has to do with that loss, but I understand. You're right.
888-760-3776. And I'm going to get into the program. Should the Bills have done more in terms of changing things up? Can they rely on this current bunch to get it done? Where are you at with the future of the Buffalo Bills? 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. Live here at Duffy's in Plantation, National Championship 7:30 on ESPN. That's Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. Taking a time out here on ESPN 106.3.
Whether it's a clutch touchdown pass, a game-winning dunk, or an impressive dash to the finish, we want to highlight the best performance of the week. The winning performance will receive $500 courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Catch the biggest moments and winners all season long on ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. Nominate them today by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Welcome to being treated like a pro.
Anna Jar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stressed life. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Funnel cake, rides, farm animals.
Wake up, South Florida Fair.
Don't tell me what's fair. What? The South Florida Fair is open? Why didn't you say so sooner? Countless attractions, vendors, mouth-watering food. There be something for everyone. See all the activities at southfloridafair.com or download the Fair app. Open now in West Palm Beach.
January 16th to February 1st.
All right, let's talk about your game day routine. You've got the jersey, the cooler, the tickets, but what about your ride? Show up looking like a champion with Unlimited Auto Wash Club. With 6 South Florida locations, every membership includes unlimited 100% hand washes, 1 per day, every day. From a quick exterior shine to the ultimate special with wax, Rain-X, and interior touch-ups, Unlimited Auto Wash keeps your car looking its best all season long. Call 561-WASH-ME-TOO or visit a location today.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful Defender 110 P300S for just $849 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Breaking news news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long-distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Colin to the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy!
Light him up, Colin!
Russo and Rizzo live here from Duffy's in Plantation in preparation for an Indiana-Miami showdown. National championship at Hard Rock Stadium. Should be a whole lot of fun. 7:30 kick on ESPN. You got Mike Rizzo alongside me back in the fold of things. We got Damian Perez back at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach, helping us out, keeping us up over the ones and twos. We are live until 6 p.m. today, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at YouTube at ESPN South Florida, and all those other spots at ESPN West Palm. Dave Druda chimed in on the YouTube chat. He's got something to say to Mike. I'll get to that in a moment. But first, when Mike feels a little under the weather, and a couple symptoms, doesn't know what's going on to you, you probably make one phone call only in Men's Only Medical.
Absolutely. First thing I did was call Doc Al. I mentioned to you guys I was under the weather. Called Doc Al, got a nice little assessment, gave me my my marching orders, and I'm ready to go. It's flu season, guys. I mean, geez, is it flu season? I'll tell you what, if you're feeling under the weather, if you're maybe even looking for a New Year's resolution, right? You're maybe trying to lose some weight. You can do what I'm doing right now with the weight management and nutrition program over at Men's Only Medical. Folks, that's Men's Only Medical on North Dixie Highway. If you're dealing with hair loss, they got hair loss solutions. If if you're ticker, you're pumper, you got cardiovascular issues. Expert cardiovascular care with the EKG tests. You can see exactly your heart health and what you need to do better with your heart. Doc Al will give you your marching orders on that. Skin assessment. You get your face scanned. You can do all of that at the one-stop shop Men's Health Clinic in downtown West Palm Beach. And also, folks, not only are they the one-stop shop Men's Health Clinic, but also he's my doctor. It's the concierge health care service. He is my primary doctor down here in West Palm Beach. And it's not one of those, hospitals or godforsaken helpline. You call, you can't get through, you can't get in for a month, 2 months. No, you get in as soon as the same day with Doc Al. Go join the concierge healthcare service with Doc Al at Men's Only Medical. And also, he's a big Miami guy. Doc Al's tailgating right now. So don't go today because Doc Al is going to be rooting on his Hurricanes as we gear up for the college football playoff tonight. And we're actually going to preview that with Men's Only Medical with a little game plan for greatness later on in the show. That's Men's Only Medical on North Dixie Highway. Tell them Riz sent you.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. Mike was more along the lines that Buffalo got the short end of the stick in this game in terms of calls, in terms of how the referees were calling the football game, in terms of a little unfortunate, especially in that last drive of the game. Dave Druder chimes in on the YouTube chat. Dave Druder, our director of ops, by the way. He says, quote, I assume to Rizzo, you cannot seriously be apologizing for an underperforming quarterback making $55 million a year.
Hang on, quickly. Let's go step by step here. What was I apologizing for? Where did I ever?
You were defending him.
No, but defending is one thing. Apologizing is a whole other thing. So,
he chimed in with this.
Error of fact. Keep going.
Goes, that's a Cleveland Browns mentality. Apologizing for underperformance, unacceptable.
Wasn't apologizing, more so defending. He lost the game.
What's the difference?
Right? He lost the game. I made that clear. How is that? I'm not apologizing for the awful performance that he had. I'm sitting here and telling you, if you're going to call pass interference on Buffalo, better do the same damn thing for Denver, and they didn't do that. That whole interception, it was a bogus call all the way around. First off, wasn't an interception. A lot of people think they got that wrong. Second off, all right?
It was an interception.
Back is turned. He's not looking at the football, and he's there early. That is the definition of pass interference. At the moment, I said, all right, that's how they're going to call the game, and they're going to let the boys play. Next drive, they didn't let the boys play. What am I apologizing for? Allen played awful. Okay, I admit that. But I still think they got the short end of the stick on the calls. And I don't see how you can't agree with that. That game was awful. It was a ref show. The overtime was a waste of time.
Mike, this is
overtime
not a pass
was
interference.
a waste of time.
This is not a pass interference.
Overtime was a waste of time.
What do you mean it was a waste of time?
Waste of time.
Why?
Because the refs took over the game. They gave Denver the win.
Which call was not right? Fine. If you want to say the first pass interference, fine. Joey Bosa still late hit, and that was a good call. That was a
but
late
what
hit.
I'm talking about, the 3 pass interference that were called that directly affected the outcome of the game. The Tre'Davious White one was one of the worst calls I've ever seen.
Please. Now
One of the worst calls I've ever seen.
Mike, now you're being hyperbolic.
And then the first one was 50-50.
A textbook pass interference.
And then the first one was 50-50 that they called on Buffalo. Was there a roughing the passer? Fine. But
it doesn't make a difference because it would have been a 17-yard
But
penalty versus
I am
15-yard
talking about being fair. Being fair. You're saying it wasn't pass interference on McMillan. Fine, I think it was. His back's turned to the ball, and he's affecting him, and he's there early. He's there early.
He didn't touch he wasn't impeding with his body. You're allowed to be there and not touching him.
He's there early.
Mike, I'm watching.
He's there. I watched it too. 500 times.
I'm
I think
looking at
it's pass interference.
This is not a
I'm
pass
telling you,
interference.
if you're going to call the 2 on Buffalo, you got to call that. It's all I'm
You're
saying.
the only one on the hill of that. This is a pass interference.
I think it was PI. I think it was PI.
It is way more of a question of whether it's a catch or an interception.
He's there early with his back to the ball, not looking at the football, and then there's the whole thing with the catch. It's not even what I'm
Cooks had
talking
his
about.
hands on the ball before McMillan even made contact with him physically. So his back was not to the ball, but you have to touch the guy in order for it to be a pass interference, and he wasn't. He just had his hands up running towards him, and his hands came right where Cooks caught the ball, hence why he was able to rip it at the end.
I disagree. He's there early. He's not looking at the ball. It's pass interference,
no, it's
brother.
not. No, it's not.
But yeah, and I'm not
not
apologizing for Josh Allen. I'm saying the ending of that game was bogus, and yet again, Buffalo at the scene of we got screwed again.
You know what's funny? You're the only guy in America who, the quarterback turns the ball over 4 times. The team has 5 turnovers, and they actually had the ball in overtime with a chance to win the game. They just needed a field goal. They couldn't do it. But for some reason, it's the ref's problem.
It's not the ref's problem.
You just said it was the ref's problem.
It's the ref's problem for not calling a fair game. If
All
you
right,
want
so
to
it is
call
the
it,
ref's problem.
if you want to call it, if you want to call it that way, fine. If you want to call it that way, fine. Don't screw over Buffalo on the back end because you're cold and you want to go home.
You just said you said they screwed him over. You just said they screwed him over. Did they screw him over? No, they didn't. They did not screw them over. Buffalo had a chance to score to win. They had a chance. They
didn't call pass interference when it was.
Not a pass interference.
Okay, but then why did they call it Buffalo's? Why did they call it on Buffalo?
Because it was a pass interference. There's your answer.
No, it wasn't. And that's where we disagree. We fundamentally disagree on what a pass interference is.
Mike,
it's fine.
The first one,
it's okay. It
is not
it's
a
okay.
pass interference. No, because you're wrong. The second one is an absolute pass interference. He got his hands on the body before the ball got there, and he was dragging his left arm down when he was, because he slowed up. And I agree, it's a bad call. And you know what? The rule when you throw an underthrown deep ball, it favors the offensive player because it is so hard for a defensive player to get back into position, turn around, and make a legal play on the ball. It is a tough world to live out there as a defensive
They didn't
back.
call it both ways. That's just how I see it.
The first way you're talking about doesn't exist. It was whether it's a catch or an interception. It is not whether it's a pass interference or not on McMillan on the Brandon Cooks play. That's not fair. No. If you want to make the argument that it looked like a catch, I could listen to that, especially after what happened with Devontae Adams when they called him down on the field comparatively in the Ram game. I could listen to that. I still think the NFL has made it clear that the catch rules are you have to survive the ground.
I've seen worse be called, too. I've seen worse be called as well.
Worse what?
Late, excuse me. I've seen less be called late in the game than that. I've seen pass interference be called with even worse than that. Okay,
Mike. Here's the problem: Buffalo had chances and they blundered them. Josh Allen had Dalton Kincaid wide open for a walk. Wide open is a word. He would have walked in for a touchdown down the seam route that the play before they kicked the field goal to tie it in regulation, and he sailed it. And it was a bad throw. The McCole Hardman deep out on 2nd and 11 in overtime, which would have put them at the 45-yard line of the opposition, and within a striking distance of a field goal range. And he got it low, and they said it was McCole Hardman's fault. He was wide open. I mean, can we get it on his chest? So there's another problem. And Josh Allen, on top of this, I mean, the 4 turnovers, he had turnovers in opposing territory. That's another thing. And on top of that, he gave him a free 3 points at the end of the first half. I'm not going to sit here and say Buffalo got screwed.
I just also, on the flip side, Denver didn't do enough to win the ball game either. If we're going to be hard on Josh Allen, for all the Bo Nix, I mean, he equally played worse.
It was 27. No, he did not. It was 27-23. Bills take the lead, and Bo Nix takes him down the field and has a great touchdown pass down the left sideline to take the lead. Give him that. It was 30-27.
They threw to the running back the whole game, Colin.
Fine. You know what their game plan was?
They threw out of the backfield the whole game.
So now you're not giving them credit. I mean, Mike, they scored 33 points. I mean, geez, I understand some of it was handed over by Buffalo, but you turned the ball over 3 times in their territory, and you're saying Denver didn't deserve to win?
Nick's turning the ball over, too.
If Nick's was not a nightmare, then Stidham will be a plug and play. I mean, which is it? I mean, I'm saying
you
gotta give Denver credit.
I'm saying that Knicks deserves scrutiny as well, and that the refs carried him on that final drive. Carried him all the way down the field on the final drive.
They were good calls, and I hate that it ended like that. I agree with you.
Then fine. I fundamentally disagree. Then
fundamentally disagree.
I don't think they were good. They weren't good calls. They weren't. I thought both were rubbish.
Well, Mike, I agree with you. The first one was a bad call, but they had a late hit that they declined on the same exact play, so it would have been 15 yards anyway. It would have been 15 yards. It would have given them a first down.
Take the late hit out of it. You're so fixated on the late hit.
Well, that's what you're talking about.
You're so fixated on the late hit.
You're talking about the first pass interference. You're talking about the first pass interference.
All right, fine. Then take that pass interference out of it. It would have been 15 yards anyway. Whatever. I want to focus on the rule of pass interference. You don't think that it was pass interference on that first one. That is fine. I think it was. And if you're going to call those 2 calls that were called pass interference.
Oh, this is not pass interference. Mike, we're both looking at this. He is stepping up for the ball. He is not impeding
anything. They're early. Right there, early, Mike, back to the ball.
Where is he touching the body?
You can't see it on the YouTube chat.
But fine. Mike, where is he touching the body? His hand is up. That's his glove.
Keep going. Right there. He's there early, back his turn, not looking at the ball. He's not looking at the ball. That's the more important thing of it.
He's not touching his body.
If your back is turned and you're not looking at the ball, that is pass interference.
You have the wrong idea of it because you have to touch the body. If I just don't turn around, I put my hands up and it hits the back of my arm, it's not pass interference. It's not pass interference. You have to impede the body and not turn around. That's different.
That's a horrible angle, by the way.
Oh, it's a bad angle.
That is a horrible angle. It is. It's playing to your narrative, which is fine. It's all right. We disagree.
Mike,
we disagree.
It's a camera shot.
All right, we disagree. We disagree. Like I said, you take the 15 yards away from it. The 3 pass interferences that were called, if you're going to call it for Buffalo, it's the 15th time I'm saying this. If you're going to call the 2 on Buffalo, you got to call that one.
Hey, I got an idea for Buffalo. Don't turn the ball over 5 times. Hey, making $55 million a year at quarterback. Don't turn the ball over 4 times.
I hardly put the interception on Allen.
Which one? He had 2.
The one that ended the game, Colin, after the refs escorted Denver down the field.
Fine. I can listen to that. You know, he got the ball into the plate of Brandon Cooks. I can listen to that.
But I do agree with you. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying Allen played good in the game. He is the reason they lost the game. Fine. But they still had a chance. Denver was that bad in the game, too. While they had 5 turnovers in the game, that they were going to win the game if they call that Brandon Cooks thing a catch. And I'm not even complaining about a catch, all right?
I'm so surprised you're on the side that it's.
I don't want to
pass
see
interference.
Denver and Jared Stidham,
Oh,
dude.
This is what this is about.
Don't want to
This is what
see
this is
this
about.
garbage.
This has nothing to do with the objective fact of whether it's a good call or not. This is
They were bad calls.
Because
They
you
were-
don't want to see Jared Stidham, and that was a fluke
No,
situation.
dude,
It would have been Bo Nix if he
Don't
didn't get hurt in the
twist
second
it.
to last
Don't
play.
twist the words. I think that it was pass interference. That's fine. If people want to call me crazy for that, that's okay. I could live with that. I just think if you're going to call those two on Buffalo, you're going to have to call it on Denver. Those refs were probably cold and wanted to go home. That's what happened.
And on the third drive in overtime,
They wanted to go home. Sorry.
Please.
It's okay.
Mike. Here's the thing. Buffalo underachieved. Again, are we
They
surprised?
did.
Are we
They
surprised?
did.
So,
They underachieved.
They deserve to lose,
But-
and the refs got, in my opinion, every call right.
Some-
If you want to talk about whether that's a catch or an interception, fine. You'd have to go step by step. But live in the moment, tie goes. You can't do tie goes to the runner. When
You're
McMillan
dead
was
wrong on
it.
the Tre'Davious White.
Let's bring up the play.
I think you're dead wrong on the Tre'Davious White play. Dead wrong. And as my man over here at the bar is giggling and agreeing. Dead wrong. Dude.
Not even close. Mike, you got to listen to this. So he goes down the field, and it was a bad throw. I completely understand.
Uncatchable in the first place.
What do you mean he's uncatchable? He got his hands on it. What do you mean he's uncatchable? He didn't fly over his head. He was underthrown. What do you mean he
Watch
was
it again.
uncatchable?
Watch it again.
I'm trying to find it. I'll find this play for you because you are under the impression that the refs just had it out. Why do you think?
It's a ref show.
Give me a second. Why do the refs want Buffalo to get eliminated? Why?
I'm
Doesn't
not
the NFL
saying-
want the Buffalo to be in the game?
They didn't call it both ways.
Oh, okay.
They didn't call it both ways in the final final 2 possessions of the game.
Why are they screwing over Buffalo when Buffalo's the darling of the NFL? Let me get that straight. Let's talk about this. I don't understand. So I get it. It's a questionable call, and I hate calling that in the moment. But I lean on the side of if you're going to call it, if you are going to have a situation in which you have to make a call when the game is on the line, you can't just allow these guys to get away with penalties because they're under the impression it's the last play of the game and therefore the refs are going to swallow the whistle. You can't assume that. You can't assume that. They deserve that. That penalty was a bad penalty by Tre'Davious White. It was a bad penalty, and it was an underthrown ball, and it was a little unlucky the fact that it was underthrown, and you reward the offense because of it. But if you're Tre'Davious White, he got beat. He was 4 steps behind him, and it's impossible to make a legal play on the ball in that play. Some people saying you let it play, fine, but that is a play to me where Tre'Davious White going step for step, gets underthrown, he comes back into it, and look at that. That is impeding. The ball's not even there yet, Mike. His right arm is around him, and his left arm is holding down his other left arm. That's a bad angle, too. And he gets his hands on it, and then the ball goes incomplete. Oh, boom. Here's another one. Boom. Coming up.
This is the one.
Oh, wait. That's on his left arm. The ball's not even there yet. Look at that. That is pass interference, as we can see. Look at this. He's tackling him. The ball's not even there yet. That's a pass interference.
Justice for Buffalo, man. Justice for Buffalo.
Pass interference. I understand. But Buffalo, 4 turnovers. You're not getting away with that. I'm not here to sympathize for Buffalo. You guys continuously underachieve. And you fired your coach because of it? Fine. You should fire your general manager, too, because he has not put together a winning roster year in and year out. They get a good defense. They're sort of riding off of that. And the defense had a bad year. And then offensively, they were completely stripped of talent. Didn't make a move at the deadline. Jacoby Myers was available. Did not go get him. You don't think he would have helped yesterday? God, he would have saved their season. They were throwing to Brandon Cooks, who's an underrated player. Brandon Cooks,
He's
Curtis
too
Samuel.
old, though. To your point, he's way too
And
old
Brandon
to be
Cook's been
relied
a long,
on as a number one.
And he's been.
I've seen him for 5 different teams over 10 years.
He's been involved in a lot of bad misses late in the game. He dropped one for the Patriots. He dropped 2 in the Super Bowl. Remember, it was 10-3 in the fourth quarter, 4 minutes to go, and Brandon Cooks dropped one in the corner of the end zone in 2019, and it cost him the game.
And then was he on that Rams team with
he
the
was.
PI?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
The pass interference was the story, but I get what you're saying.
So, geez, I mean, I'm under the impression that Buffalo, their theme, they're going to have to figure this out. I don't know who they're going to go after. Let's get into that. Who does Buffalo even go after here? Do they promote internally and get Joe Brady involved? Do you go get a offensive-minded coach? Do you go get Brian Dable, who loves Josh Allen?
Yeah.
He's in the mix for it because him and Allen have a good relationship.
It's tough right now because Mike Tomlin, he'd have to trade a pick. You're not going to do
You're
that.
not doing that.
You're not going to do that.
Do you even?
I wouldn't want to be in the market for a head coach.
Yeah.
Is that fair? That's my answer to that.
The idea
That's
was,
my answer
if you're
to
going
that.
to get anybody, you're going to get Harbaugh. You're going to get Harbaugh, and you didn't.
Like, go look at like Stefanski's off the board. He's going to Atlanta. Like,
and Harbaugh's done.
Yeah. Who is? If it's not Joe Brady, all right. then who is going to be working hand in hand with Allen? That's the most important thing.
I think
Colin,
I think
that's why
their only option is to promote Joe Brady.
I know you give me heat sometimes on being such a head coach, play caller, and nut, but that's why I am when you have this special quarterback. That's why it's so important. That's why it's so important to get that position right. Who's going to be working hand in hand with the franchise quarterback?
I am once again down on those types of coaches. You want to talk about one of the worst coach games I've seen all year? Look no further than that Rams-Bears game. Because of just how poorly
what in the hell was Ben Johnson do again with the 4th downs and going for it?
Sean McVay did a terrible job too before half and before the 2-minute warning when he didn't give Stafford a chance on remember 2:07 to go. We'll get into this game a little later on, but Bears Rams. It was 2:07 to go. It was 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, or whatever it was, and the Bears shouldn't have called the timeout, and they did because you didn't need the 7 seconds. The 7 seconds does you nothing. So they called a timeout because they were trying to get the ball back. And when it's 3rd and short, they could have had a free passing play and still punted the football before the 2-minute warning. They could have done all this and let Stafford get a chance to win. And they run the ball and punt it and give the Bears a chance to go down the field and score.
And I think McVay said something along the lines of after the game of, the conditions were bad. We didn't have anything going. And
McVay did a terrible job.
He got bailed. We're going to talk about it later, but man, I'm pissed.
I'm down on those coaches. I'm down.
So like
Ben Johnson, you got to stop. You got to stop. So don't put that guy near a casino. I'll tell you that right now. You got to stop. And the funny part is the one time you could have done it is scoring and make it 17-17 on an unbelievable play, and you could have went for 2 to win the game.
You knew Caleb. You knew when Caleb turned it over that the game was over too.
Yeah, in overtime.
You knew it. Yeah, in overtime. Devontae Adams. Remember they looked at that Adams catch. The moment Adams caught that ball on the sideline, I'm like, all right, this is a wrap.
Great throw.
Yeah.
Great throw.
I mean, Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer. I mean, talk about a guy who maybe deserves some votes for best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, geez, look at. You think he wins MVP? Whole nother thing. Drake May. Whatever. Regardless, an MVP candidate in Super Bowl.
Yeah,
champ
if you're the Bills, just put a cap on it. If you're the Bills, I don't know where you look now for a head coach. My personal opinion, it is the path of least resistance. You probably offer something different, but you get something new in there with some familiarity. I think you got to do Joe Brady.
Hire from within, and listen,
I think you got to.
He'll leave too. If you don't hire him, he's gone.
That'll be a tough sell to whoever's coming in because he might get a head coach. There are 8 jobs available.
Correct, and there will be a lot of people. If he's not the head coach in Buffalo, there are going to be a lot of people knocking on his door. I completely agree with that.
Yeah, and you know that because he's going to be everybody's under the impression that he's leaving.
Yep.
So I think that is a very difficult job to hire for. And I don't know if you're trying to find a mold of a type of coach or you're just trying to find a specific guy who could win a playoff game. I don't know where you look. My personal opinion is you probably got to look internally and promote from within. But it sounds like they're going to have a whole coaching search led by a general manager who, in my opinion, has not put Buffalo in a chance to win. That's my 2 cents.
And is bad, very outspoken too.
He's like a personality. He's like a personality for them.
He's calling into radio shows. Yeah. Listen, and who's the new GM for the Dolphins? Remind me.
John Eric Sullivan.
John Eric Sullivan. Call him, brother. 888-760-3776. But at the same time, trolling aside, I mean, geez, that's a guy who maybe might not be at the best place mentally.
If he goes in, he dropped a couple Pro Bowlers. Please.
Right.
Somebody. So,
but not mentally. Someone that's insecure. How about that? I'll leave it at that. So, someone who's very insecure.
888-760-3776, number to get into the program on Russo and Rizzo. We go to West Palm Beach. Chris in West Palm joins us now on the program. Chris, welcome in. What's going on? What do you got in your mind?
Hey, guys. Big fans here. You guys are constantly talking about quarterbacks and you're ragging on Josh Allen and all that stuff. I once told you guys this bit of trivia, but, the Washington Redskins, Joe Gibbs, 3 Super Bowls, 3 different quarterbacks, not one of them Hall of Fame quarterback, and beat the other bit of trivia is each one of those wins against Dan Marino, Jim Kelly, John Elway. So, there's a lot of guys on the team, and all these guys keep talking about everybody, not just you guys, everybody, quarterbacks. The coaching, special teams, D, line, edge rushers, it's a whole team effort. So just wanted to throw it out there.
Now, Chris, one thing I want to add to you: do you think the league is in the last 20 years, really since mid '80s Washington Redskins, early '90s? You think it's become more reliant on that position being great, though, the quarterback?
Of course, you're paying these guys $100 million, and they're the face of the franchise. But you can't just say there's 3 great quarterbacks that can win Super Bowls, and all the rest are kind of choke artists.
Appreciate the call, Chris. Thanks for chiming in.
No, I like that notion. Not everyone can be great.
888-760-3776. Winston in West Palm Beach joins us now. Winston, what's going on? What do you got for us?
Yeah, longtime Bills fan, and they just put the coach as a scapegoat. Josh Allen, he made too many bad plays, tried to do too much. A couple times he should have done the short pass, get a first down, but he kept going for the home run. And then that play before halftime, he's out there running around like a 5-year-old with the ball that has no idea what he's doing. And then
now, Winston,
another thing.
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been a Bill fan since the 90s. I have friends that live in North Tonawanda.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right there on the outskirts of Buffalo.
Now, Winston, are you under the impression they should have ran it back with everybody involved, McDermott, Brandon Beane, Allen, or do you think they should have changed more?
Well, the GM did not do them any good. He didn't get any help. They need a couple defensive guys and a better receiving core. I mean, the guys they have, they did all they could, but you need one stud receiver. They never should have got rid of Stephon Diggs. But sometimes personalities don't work together, and you got to separate. But the GM did not help him on any at all. You can't just depend on him to always, be Superman. Because even Superman loses a fight on occasion.
All right, good shout. Appreciate
Thanks,
the call,
Winston.
888-760-3776.
Now, I completely disagree. McDermott had to go. But, yeah, he's under your impression that the GM should go, too. I don't think McDermott was a scapegoat, personally, though. Do you think he was a scapegoat? He's a scapegoat. If anything, he's a scapegoat for the quarterback not having success. I'll say that. But
here's the thing. He is just under as much blame as somebody who has seen that much success. It's not just on Allen. It's on the team.
Right.
And one of the only stable points of that entire team has been McDermott. And you're not getting rid of Allen.
No.
You're not getting rid of Allen, and you could find a new coach. And you know what I think doesn't help is I think the fact is that the Bears found a new coach quickly. The Patriots found a new coach quickly. Immediate success. Bears, immediate success. Even Jacksonville, immediate success. I think the fact that you have 3 huge success stories like that, I think it inclines teams to have a shorter leash of their head coach. They can't go to these teams and say, I need 3 years to put this together. They're going to be like, well, you got 2. Well, you got 1.5.
Yep.
So that's just the nature of the game.
Especially when a thing like Allen is, a player like Josh Allen is in place.
Yeah, you're going to hire that coach, and they're going to say, well, you got 365 days. We better see something. Go ahead. Have some fun. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, 888-760-3776. If you want to open an account, perhaps you won a ton of money on Denver winning a bet over the weekend. You need someone to put it. Look no further than Flagler Credit Union.
Absolutely, folks. And I'm opening up my checking account this week with Flagler Credit Union. They're local. We have 4 locations for Flagler, 4 convenient locations across Palm Beach County, Boca Raton, Lake Clark Shores, North Palm Beach, and West Palm Beach. I needed a bank, folks. So I know there are a lot of you listening out there that are, transplants here in West Palm Beach like me. Well, go make Flagler Credit Union. The people that have been here for years, go make Flagler Credit Union your home bank. They're a little different. They do things a little different and offer personal and business banking options that help you manage your finances and simplify your banking needs. Since they are a non-for-profit cooperative, they will charge less when you need to borrow money to get that car, to buy a home improvements. If you go on that vacation, if you wanted to be going on that vacation for a while, but you're paying for college, you're paying for high school, you guys got kids. Well, go check out and see what Flagler Credit Union can do for you because they got affordable options monthly for you if you need to take out some money in advance. Go see them. And it's Flagler Credit Union at their 4 locations. There are 4 locations at Boca Raton, Lake Clark Shores, North Palm Beach, and West Palm Beach. And once again, Flagler Credit Union is the official credit union of FAU Athletics today. For more information, flaglercu.org. That's flaglercu.org, or go to one of those 4 locations.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, there's an interesting stat of the plenty of coaches, the 30-some-odd coaches who have won Super Bowls in their tenure with whatever team. There's an interesting stat in terms of what year those coaches won a Super Bowl with that respective team. We'll get into that a little bit next. That's Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. It's Russo and Rizzo live from Duffy's in Plantation on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and if you love football, you're in the right place. ESPN 106.3 has it all. This is the finish line. One night, one trophy, one champion crown. It's the College Football Playoff National Championship game. Miami and Indiana. Coverage starts at 6:30 right here on ESPN 106.3.
Every athlete you see competing in the College Football Playoff National Championship had to find the right path to get there. At IMG Academy, helping student athletes find the right path to the next level is part of the game plan. From a world-renowned boarding school that develops student athletes every day, to premier sport camps where skill is honed and elevated, IMG Academy prepares student athletes for the next level, on and off the field. And through IMG Academy Plus, student athletes anywhere can receive unmatched college recruiting support or even a personal remote-based mental performance coach. Start your preparation with IMG Academy.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long-distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Whether it's a clutch touchdown pass, a game-winning dunk, or an impressive dash to the finish, we want to highlight the best performance of the week. The winning performance will receive $500 courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Catch the biggest moments and winners all season long on ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. Nominate them today by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Welcome to being treated like a pro.
Every great performance starts with a plan. Your game plan for greatness begins at Men's Only Medical. Dr. Al is redefining men's health with concierge care and cutting-edge treatments tailored just for you. From anti-aging and weight management to cardiovascular health, skin, and hair, they've got you covered. Expect personalized care and advanced technology to help you look, feel, and perform your best. Visit mensonlymedical.com. Men's Only Medical, setting a new standard for men's health.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
You heard it, the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. If you've been in a car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall, fell down the stairs, anything like that, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, the type that like to fight for you. They don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Don't settle for just any attorney. Go to get the top of the line. Go demand the best. Go demand Anajar and Levine. All it takes is that one phone call. Take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call the free consultation today. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Take back control now with Anajar and Levine. All right, Mike, we got to get into it a little bit. The Los Angeles Rams and Chicago Bears, Sunday Night Football, Tirico on the call. Great game, 10-10 at half, 17-10 throughout most of the second half, and then all of a sudden, Bears going down the field, second to last drive of the game, and they have the ball on the 3 or 4 yard line, run the ball 3 straight times. Caleb Williams throws an incomplete pass on 4th down, and the Rams get the ball. They couple first downs and end up getting a stop, and then it turns out with about a minute to go, Bears go right down the field, force it actually to a 4th and 4, about 30 seconds remaining. And on a 4th and 4, similar to the 4th and 8 play, down 11 against the Packers in the 4th quarter last week, Caleb Williams backs up, all the way essentially to the 35-yard line, heaves one to the far left part of the end zone, and Cole Kmet comes down with it to tie the game, essentially with 20 seconds remaining in that Rams-Bear game. As crazy of a play as you've ever seen in your life in the National Football League was that Caleb Williams to Cole Kmet down the left sideline. And a bit of a heave. Caleb Williams, a little bit of heroics, goes to overtime. Back and forth affair. Both get possessions. The Caleb Williams throws an interception at the Brown midfield, and the Rams are able to go down, win the game, and advance to the NFC Championship game once again. Mike, your initial reaction to what we saw last night between the Rams and the Bears?
Well, I thought it was the best game of Sunday. And it stunk that Caleb threw the interception that ended up doing him in, because I actually think he played a pretty decent game. I know you look at his stat line and you go, oh, my God, he had 3 interceptions. He threw the nail in the coffin interception in overtime after the Rams went 3 and out and had to punt the ball not back to the Bears, but to the Bears for the first time in overtime. You know, if Caleb's able to orchestrate a drive there and kick a field goal, the Bears are moving on to the NFC Championship game. But with that aside, you got to give a little credit to Stafford and that drive that they won it, because what it was, the interception was basically a punt, right?
Which one?
The one in overtime. The interception was basically
here's the thing:
get the ball on the 25.
They just needed a field goal. That was the problem. They
Correct.
just needed the field goal.
And
so you don't even think about a punt in that situation because it deflated all the momentum the Bears had.
But at the same time, they needed one more stop, and the defense couldn't do that. And you can hardly blame the Bear defense after a game like that. And then listen, that Bear defense won very good all season long. So I actually think it was a gutsy performance by them. But in a sense, to your point, the Bears had a chance to win the game with the field goal. Instead, they punted the ball back to L.A. You knew the game was over.
Punting is you have an interesting way of saying he threw an interception.
Correct.
I wouldn't call it a punt because it kills all the momentum.
He threw it to the other side of the field, and they had to go 35 yards to get a field goal, and they did that.
Calling it a punt is a strong term in overtime.
Instead of kicking a game-winning field goal, you had to punt it. That's what that interception was in hindsight. That's
Mike,
what it was.
It killed all the momentum the Bears had.
Correct, and that's what I'm saying.
A punt doesn't do that. A punt doesn't always do that.
But putting it in perspective, that's what the interception.
Mike, he threw an interception. Threw a bad interception.
Fine.
And you could say DJ Moore ran the wrong route. You could say he was cut underneath. That was and I agree.
But still, the Bears had chances to get stops on 3rd down, so they didn't do it at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That's why I'm bringing up, hey, instead of kicking the game-winning field goal, you threw an interception, which switched the momentum of the game and switched the ball back and switched the fields. It's it. And you hate it, and you hate to see a quarterback like Caleb who threw that beautiful pass in the 4th quarter that you mentioned to the tight end in the back of the end zone and force overtime and bail out his head coach. I am kind of out on Ben Johnson, too.
Oh, my God. Did he bail out Ben Johnson time and time again?
I am out on Ben Johnson
in that
today.
game.
It's a tough day for Ben Johnson.
Oh, my gosh.
And
was I sitting there thinking on that second to last drive of the game when they were down 17-10 and they had to run 4 straight plays in the red zone on goal to go, and he runs 3 straight runs, and then he throws it on 4th down, in which Caleb Williams gets an incomplete pass, and the Rams get the ball back. They somehow get a stop, because I know, according to Ben Johnson's play-calling philosophy, they don't trust the defense. They get a stop, they get the ball back, and then it takes a 4th and 4 heroic play from Caleb Williams just to tie the game. As an offensive play-calling guru head coach, I understand Ben Johnson did a good job getting those guys ready to rock and roll. Caleb Williams took steps. I understand that. And the offensively, they ran the ball very well. But Ben Johnson, to me, does more for them actively trying to lose the game than he does to win. And he did that against the Packers, especially in that first half. And he did it again. He did it again. They went for it on fourth down 3 times in the first half. They did not get 2 of them. First, one of them was a touchdown. So I understand. One of them was a touchdown on 4th and goal, and it tied the game at 7. Fine. I could live with that. It was honestly a good call in the time being. The other ones, where he went for it on the first drive of the game instead of getting points, I was sitting there thinking this is surely not going to burn them. Then he does it later again in the second quarter when he doesn't. He goes for it on 4th, and he turns the ball over on downs again. So I'm sitting there thinking, on that second to last drive of the game, when it's 4th and 5 on the goal line, and I'm sitting there, boy, if they got those 2 field goals in the first half, they would be kicking for a lead right now. They'd be kicking to make the game 19-17. But instead, because you went for it on 4th down 2 times in the first half when you really didn't need to, you're sitting there thinking, boy, did we leave points on the board. That is what he has done time and time again. And it's something about these play calling head coaches where the arrogance just bleeds through the screen, that they don't need their defense and that they could wizard their way through this game.
No, you need to find the healthy
there's got to be a healthy medium.
Correct.
Between Tomlin and what Ben Johnson does.
Brother, you said it.
Between
said it.
those two,
there's
got to be a marriage. There's got to be a marriage.
Don't need to say it.
There's got to
agree.
be a marriage.
And I was thinking of you. I was thinking of you.
He did the same thing in the Packer game. I was sitting there thinking this guy is a gambling addict, and he wants the rush.
We talked about it last week with the Packer game, and I'm sitting there going, my God, Colin's got to be absolutely losing his mind right now with the rolling the dice.
In a game when they only scored 17
points.
Correct,
and they were able to get over it. Somehow, some way, being down 27-16 in the fourth quarter, they were able to find a way to win that game in spite of those bad decisions. Yes, the Packer game. Obviously not the case there. If you're a Bear fan, how do you view the season? A tremendous success, correct?
No doubt.
And you're excited for Ben Johnson. You're excited for Caleb Williams.
You like where everything's heading.
And you do. You do. Now, I always say, though, when you're in positions like that, man, you want to take advantage. And I know I'm defending Williams, but I guess I'm defending the quarterbacks today with Caleb Williams. Fine. I could be the sympathizer, the apologizer, whatever the hell you want to call me. All right, I'd take any of those guys on my team today. All right. With that said, if you're a Bear fan with a chance you needed 15, 20 more yards realistically to line up that field goal, and it didn't happen. That's a tough pill to swallow, I think, today. Your defense did do their job. They got off the field.
The way he calls the game, you'd think it's the worst defense of all time. Defense getting stops.
Right.
They're playing well.
And I know for so many words Johnson says, hey, I trust my quarterback in that spot. I trust my offense in that spot.
What a lazy excuse. Dude, take your points.
Yeah.
I'm begging you. I'm not even a fan of this team. I am begging you. Just take your points.
Now, year 2 of Caleb. Year 3, you hope that he grows out of the interceptions. He grows out of
the thing is, he doesn't throw interceptions regularly, but he has a bad postseason stretch where he turned the ball over quite a bit.
Right.
And it cost him in that overtime, the interception. It cost him.
And then you saw Kyle, Damian Perez will get to this in the 5-at-5 with all the turnovers that happened, but you had C.J. Stroud, you had Josh Allen, you had Caleb Williams. I mean, you had guys that couldn't hang on to the football. Couldn't hang on to the football with some of the fumbles, but more or less, I mean, Stroud, 4 interceptions in that first half. 4 interceptions in the first half. I thought they was wrong. I thought it was wrong. I thought the graphic was wrong. I'm like, oh, no, wait. He did throw 4 interceptions. It was one of the more odd games we'll see, and we'll continue to talk about this as we progress on the show.
If I'm the Bears, I'm sitting there thinking missed opportunity. Because the Rams haven't particularly played that well. They've been good in fourth quarter comeback drives. They've been good when they need the drive. But continuously throughout the game, they were not excellent throughout. And the Bears should look at this, yes, as a ultra-successful season macro. But if you're going game by game, did they leave something on the table here? I think that was a horribly mismanaged game, I think, from both sides. sides.
And McVay's a Super Bowl winning coach.
And McVay, again, the play calling was bizarre. It was bizarre. He wouldn't put the ball in his quarterback's hands when maybe Ben Johnson does it too much. McVay was trying to run the ball, trying to kill clock. I'm sitting there thinking, boy, a 3rd and 7 with a chance to put a kill shot into the game, 17-10 with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, with a first down wins the game. We're not going to give Matthew Stafford a chance with 2:07 to go. You don't even lose any clock because of the 2-minute warning.
I can't help but thinking it was just uber conservative.
Uber conservative.
Uber. If we're going to be hard on Johnson for being too gung-ho, if anything, Sean McVay had the restraining wheels on an arguably an MVP candidate, Matt Stafford.
I was sitting there thinking, what are these guys doing? What are these guys doing? There was a game management level to being a football coach that I just think just wafted over me the last couple of weeks here. And I even include D'Amico Ryans in that because I think D'Amico Ryan should have benched Stroud at halftime.
Correct. Davis Mills, I don't know how you don't put him in. That's why I said I thought guys, I watched the whole first half. I thought the graphic was wrong when they said 4 interceptions. I go, my God, he's going to go for 8. And listen, a lot of quarterbacks, I just got done telling you, a lot of quarterbacks turned the ball over this weekend. Fine. But CJ, I mean, you don't give him a dime, right?
I mean, you let him play out that 5th year.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you do not give him a dime in the offseason, and it hurts me to say that.
Yeah, you let him play out that 5th year, not a question. I agree with that. But, I mean, that Bear team, you got to look at it as an ultra success, but they left food on the table. They left food on the table, and I think a lot of it is to do with Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson has a lot to learn about being a coach, especially managing
Is he arrogant?
a game.
Is he arrogant?
It's arrogance. That's all these guys
Yeah.
are. They all think they're the smartest guys in the room, and they could wizard their way through these games. I get it. I mean, they're ultra great play callers, but there is something about that Dan Campbell tree of going for it whenever you get the opportunity to that I think is just malpractice for your defense. You're putting your defense entirely in too many tough spots. And it burned them twice. They didn't take points twice, and the defense still was able to hold up. But you're sitting there thinking, looking back, and Cohen got screwed for this too. Cohen could have taken points earlier in that Jag-Bill game as well. And you're sitting there looking back, boy, would it be nice to have those 6 extra points right now because of 2 field goals. Would it be nice?
Yep.
And they're sitting there, boy, did we leave that. I was disappointed in how the Bears handled that. And as for how that offense and Caleb played, I mean, it was heroic. That kid is clutch. There's something about him that's just, it's must-watch TV, whether you think he's great or not. He is must-watch TV because at any given time, he could go, he could make a heroic, unbelievable, never-before-seen type of play. And it seems like the way to beat him is just keep him in the pocket, which is weird.
Yeah.
Because he's great throwing the ball out of the pocket, and he's great doing something with nothing. But he is a exciting, fun watch. And I think he bailed out that coach a number of times yesterday.
Yeah, and you're seeing him, like, remember last year, hanging on to the ball too long, trying to run around, I think he found how he could put his version of football in the NFL, if that makes sense. Making throws outside of the pocket, making throws on the run, not hanging on to the ball nearly as much as he did last year. That's why I say it's exciting to be a Chicago Bear fan right now. And I think the model to turn things around quickly, Jacksonville and Chicago. And that's why I'm so gung-ho on head coach, play caller, just as well as, just make sure they don't go for it every 4th down they get the opportunity.
Dude, I need a quota.
Yeah.
You need to kick 2 field goals a game.
If that's what it takes to get back and to get my franchise back into the playoffs, fine. You go for it every 4th down. Stefanski did the same thing with the Browns, by the way. They were just a terrible team.
888-760-3776, number to get into the program live here at Duffy's in Plantation in prep from National Championship Monday, where now on January 19th, yes, MLK Day, a holiday, we're going to have playing college football when last time we saw these two teams were about 10 days ago. So it's been a while since we've seen Miami and Indiana play. They got plenty of rest, plenty of time. It's going to be at Hard Rock Stadium. Going to be a cool kickoff, about 58, 59 degrees at kick. That's Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. But outside of this, once the football season ends, yes, you get the game tonight. And then after that, you get 3 more games of the rest of the football season. And then it is baseball season. Baseball fans, spring training 2026 is essentially underway at Cacti Park of the Palm Beaches because that's the place to be this postseason. Right here in West Palm Beach, the Astros and the Nationals are hosting some of baseball's biggest names. Cardinals, Mets, Yankees, Marlins, Orioles, Phillies, Pirates, and even Team Venezuela are all coming to town to Cacti Park throughout the spring training season. Nothing beats a day at Cacti Park that's sunshine. The crack of the bat, family, friends, you name it. Go get a family 4-for-4 pack, which includes 4 dogs, 4 drinks, 4 chips. It's all in one spot. Fan favorite promotions such as Youth Sports Sundays, Sunday Brunch, Hero Days, Bark in the Park. You name it, they got it. Go check out cactipark.com to lock in your seats today. Spring training baseball is here in West Palm Beach. Don't miss a moment at Cacti Park. 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program. We got Damian Perez, Colin Russo, and Mike Rizzo taking a time out here. We'll be back after this on ESPN 106.3.
Miami's always hunting for a national championship. I'm attorney Brian Lebovic. As proud UM alums, we know how to compete at the highest level.
I'm Esther Lebovic. At the Lebovic Law Group, we bring a championship mindset to every injury case. Preparation, discipline, and relentless execution.
When a client's future is on the line, we don't just show up, we play to win.
Don't wait. Dial 8-561-888-8888. No fee unless we win for you.
Visit Lebovic.com.
Go Miami!
Hiring a lawyer is an important decision. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over. But on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into on ESPN. That's no off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN, all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today to get involved.
Prepare to shelter in place.
This is ESPN 106.3.
It's a massive storm, 1,000 miles across.
Your home for Miami Hurricanes football.
Attention business owners, the next several months are going to be super busy. Why not let us take some of the burden off of you? Get the help you need from Intelligent Office in Palm Beach Gardens. Professional live receptionists to answer, screen, and forward all of your calls to you live. Why do you need a virtual assistant? No high salaries, no holidays or sick pay, no call-outs, no turnover, and no additional equipment. Call 561-472-8400 or visit intelligentoffice.com to learn more how we can help you streamline your day.
As teams battle for a chance at the title, make sure your home is ready for every unforgettable moment. EDS Air Conditioning keeps your comfort championship caliber. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC unit. The heat belongs on the field, not inside your home. With more than 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS has been delivering national championship service since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today and enjoy the run to a national title.
Anna Jar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Hey everybody, it's Cade Chumsland. Every week, Land Rover Palm Beach supports local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community by naming a Player of the Week. This year, $35,000 will be awarded to student athletes and their schools. Tune in to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day every Friday night as I unveil this week's featured athlete. If you have a great performance that I need to know about, DM us at ESPN West Palm. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
Every athlete you see competing in the College Football Playoff National Championship had to find the right path to get there. At IMG Academy, helping student athletes find the right path to the next level is part of the game plan. From a world-renowned boarding school that develops student athletes every day, to premier sport camps where skill is honed and elevated, IMG Academy prepares student athletes for the next level, on and off the field. And through IMG Academy Plus, student athletes anywhere can receive unmatched college recruiting support or even a personal remote-based mental performance coach. Start your preparation with IMG Academy.
More than the county's largest employer, the School District of Palm Beach County is a community.
I graduated from the School District of Palm Beach County, and now I'm shaping the future in the A-rated district that shaped me.
This job gives me stability, great benefits, and a schedule that works for my family.
I'm proud to be where diversity is celebrated and professional development helps us grow.
From competitive salaries and the Florida retirement system to making a difference in the lives of our children. Join the School District of Palm Beach County at palmbeachschools.org/careers.
Every great performance starts with a plan. Your game plan for greatness begins at Men's Only Medical. Dr. Al is redefining men's health with concierge care and cutting-edge treatments tailored just for you. From anti-aging and weight management to cardiovascular health, skin, and hair, they've got you covered. Expect personalized care and advanced technology to help you look, feel, and perform your best. Visit mensonlymedical.com. Men's Only Medical, setting a new standard for men's health.
At HSS, movement is their specialty. Their team of experts provide personalized treatment options backed by over 160 years of orthopedic expertise. Whether you need advanced non-surgical solutions, surgical care, or comprehensive rehabilitation, HSS Florida delivers the exceptional quality care you expect from HSS, the nation's #1 in orthopedics. With 3 locations in West Palm Beach, Wellington, and now Jupiter, expert care has never been closer to home. Choose better, move better. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida.
The 4 p.m. hour on ESPN 106.3 is served by the Delray Beach Open. 140 miles per hour aces, parties, and all the good vibes. Get your tickets today at DelrayBeachOpen.com.
Many people start trimming trees when they hear a storm is on the way, but that leaves piles of branches on the ground that could become dangerous projectiles during a storm. Instead, having a year-round trimming plan is better for you, your neighbors, and the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County. When trimming is done correctly and on schedule, your trees are stronger and more resistant to wind damage. After the storm passes, there's less vegetative debris, helping the SWA clean up your community faster. Learn more at swa.org/storm.
Spring training 2026 at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium is approaching fast as the Miami Marlins and St. Louis Cardinals return to Jupiter for 30 games in 30 days from February 21st to March 22nd. Individual tickets are now on sale, as well as season tickets, groups, mini plans, and more. Purchase your tickets at RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com or call the ticket office at 561-630-1828. See you soon at America's busiest ballpark.
All right, let's talk about your game day routine. You've got the jersey, the cooler, the tickets, but what about your ride? Show up looking like a champion with Unlimited Auto Wash Club. With 6 South Florida locations, every membership includes unlimited 100% hand washes, 1 per day, every day. From a quick exterior shine to the ultimate special with wax, Rain-X, and interior touch-ups, Unlimited Auto Wash keeps your car looking its best all season long. Call 561-WASH-ME-TOO or visit a location today.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Colin to the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Live at Duffy's in Plantation is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Happy MLK Day, Dr. King Day, the 19th of January 2026. You got Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo having a good time here. Up until 6 p.m., we got you on ESPN 106.3. Streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm, ESPN South Florida. Appreciate Duffy's in Plantation for the hospitality, for hosting us. And we're having a grand old time as Miami is gearing up to take on Indiana in the national championship, 7:30 tonight on ESPN. The Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza looking to capitalize and finish off a 16-0 season, whereas Miami Hurricanes are looking to get back to the promised land for the first time since 2001, in which they had a 18-year span where they won 5 national championships. Been a whole lot of nothing since. Looking to get back to the promised land there. But if you're put money on the game, put money on anything, and you make a lot of money because of it, you head over to Flagler Credit Union. You could go deposit that money in your checking account.
Absolutely, and Flagler is my local bank here in West Palm Beach. If you're like me, if you're a snowbird, you're a transplant, you don't have your bank down here yet, well, consider Flagler Credit Union. They got 4 convenient locations across Palm Beach County: Boca Raton, Lake Clark Shores, North Palm Beach, and West Palm Beach. Folks, Flagler is a name that has been known here in South Florida for years. These are the people that you could trust with your money. They are a division of Dort Financial, and they offer personal and business banking options that can help you manage your finances and simplify your banking needs. Since they are a non-for-profit cooperative, they will charge less when you need to borrow money to either purchase a car, buy a home. I know everyone's got kids out there. Everyone's paying for college. Everyone's paying for high school. Well, if you need some cash and you need it now, go hit up Dort Financial and go see what they could do for you. That is Flagler Credit Union, a division of Dort Financial. The 4 convenient locations across Palm Beach County: Boca Raton, once again, Lake Clark Shores, North Palm Beach, and West Palm Beach. Damian, speaking of Flagler Credit Union, let's hit the 5 at 5. Let's do an early 5 at 5 with my good friends at Flagler Credit Union and also the official athletic sponsorship of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
5 topics.
High 5.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking Big Ten.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Number 1.
Miami and Indiana will be playing the College Football National Championship right in our backyard at Hard Rock Stadium. Indiana enters the game currently as 7.5-point favorites. Does this spread reflect a true gap between these teams, or is Miami primed to shock the nation at home?
I don't know about it reflects a gap, but I do think Indiana is well-deserving of that favorite and well-deserving of that line. Miami's got an uphill battle. They're going to want to battle today. They're going to want to win today. They're going to need to get to the quarterback. They're going to need to get to the quarterback often because you're not going to score drive for drive with this team. You're not going to be able to go, drive for drive, touchdown for touchdown with that offense of Indiana. You're going to need to get Fernando Mendoza to the ground early and often, and that is their only chance of staying within striking distance with this team.
It's that simple. Get after Mendoza, make him uncomfortable. But, I personally think it's Indiana's to lose. I like Indiana big tonight. I know that's not, what people want to hear. And honestly, what I want to hear. We're home of Miami football. I would love to see Miami, take down Indiana tonight. But, folks, did you watch the Oregon game? Did you watch the Alabama game? The quarterback is from South Florida, right in the backyard. Kid grew up going to Miami games, going to Miami football camps. I think this screams Indiana to me tonight. We'll have to wait and see. That's why we play the games. That's why we play the games. And the last time that Miami was a big dog like this was Ohio State, and they ended up winning and doing it in tremendous fashion, winning by multiple scores. So
it's not impossible.
No, it's not.
But it is difficult.
It is, and I think Indiana, they got the confidence they needed winning that Big Ten championship. Dame, what's going on with number 2?
Number 2.
C.J. Stroud threw 4 interceptions in a divisional round loss to New England, losing that game 28-16 and ending their season. Is this just one bad night or a performance that raises real questions about C.J. Stroud's future in Houston?
We haven't even talked a lot about that game, but, boy. The Patriots, who, by the way, had no interest in winning that game. None. They had 2 big drives, returning after a field goal, and then also to make the game 28, to get their score to 28. Those were the 2 big drives of the game, and it was impressive. And it really took just some deep shots to Kayshon Boutte to over Derek Stingley, a first-team All-Pro, to really get something going offensively. But Drake May had 3 turnovers in the game. He should have had more. He had 4 fumbles, 2 of them which were recovered by the opposing team. That the Houston Texans should not only have real questions, they should think of real exhaustive options in alternative. C.J. Stroud was not very good in that game. I understand he's only been around for 3 years, and I understand he's won playoff games in each of those years he's been there. But they win in spite of him, not because of him, and not in compliment of him either. He was totally the reason that they had absolutely nothing going, and he was totally the reason they lost the game. I'm very down on that Texan offense, and I'm down on DeMeco Ryans because I thought after a 4-interception first half, you had every reason to go to Davis Mills as your backup, who, by the way, went 3-1 as a starter this year for the Texans when Stroud was down with a concussion, and has won big games, including the Buffalo game on Thursday Night Football. I don't know why you don't go to him in that spot. You cost your team there.
I thought we'd at least see him warming up a bit on the sideline, getting ready to go. That's the coach sticking.
You want to die on the hill. Fine.
Yeah,
you guys
that's exactly what I was about to say, Kyle. It's the coach sticking with his guy, sticking with his quarterback. All right, but I thought the graphic was wrong. And I watched the entire first half. I go, that can't. 4 interceptions. We're not even at the halfway mark. And it kills me to talk bad about CJ with him being a Buckeye. But I told you, you do not give him $1 in the offseason. You do not give him $1 in the offseason. You ride out that 5-year, that 5-year rookie contract. And I agree with you. Maybe add some competition. Maybe the Texans think Davis Mills is good enough to, have competition with CJ. But if they didn't make Mills the starter, would you say 3-1 and beating Buffalo?
He was 3-1.
Okay, and they didn't make him the starter.
Jacksonville too.
I think organizationally they're with C.J. Stroud, but after a game that was very winnable, by the way, let me remind you that New England game was 21-16 with about 7 minutes to go in the ball game. All right, I mean it was a 1-score game. He turned the ball over 4 times in the first half, threw 4 interceptions, and you still had a chance to win the ball game at the end of the game. It's the same thing with Allen. I told you the same thing with Josh Allen. The guy had 4 turnovers, and you had a chance to win the game. The quarterbacks, listen, quarterbacks could be the reason you win the ball game, but they could be a tremendous reason why you lose the ball game at the same time.
You feel bad because it's a tough spot. You know, he walked in there without his starting receiver, Nico Collins. He walked in there without Trent Brown, his starting left tackle. Titus Howard went down as right tackle in the middle of the game. So, yes, you were definitely down a couple spots, and it's hard to compete. You know, Johnny Unitas would have struggled back there with the supporting cast that he had. But the one thing about Stroud is he looked completely and utterly panicked. And he's the type that doesn't show emotion on his face, but you can see he is seeing ghosts out there on the field. He is panicking beyond belief. He was just mentally beat. He was mentally checked out. And I don't like how we went to the halftime report. Number one, we didn't talk to D'Amico at all. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
They only talked to Vrabel.
They did
right after half.
Yep.
When everybody was wondering if he'd start, and he said, "Oh, we're going to trust our guy." No, they should have talked to him right after the quarter, and they didn't. And then we go into the halftime report, and you got the guys at the desk on the side of the field with Van Pelt, Jason Kelsey, and Ryan Clark is yelling at me, saying, "This is where C.J. Stroud proves you he's the guy." Ryan, we don't have time for this, pal.
Yep.
This is a close game. And we need somebody to play well and play well now. This is not to determine whether he gets a contract. We're trying to move on.
Yeah.
And that was the most important game in Texan franchise history. Why? Because the winner gets to play a backup quarterback. Mm-hmm. The winner gets to play Jarrett Stidham in the AFC Championship game. That was the most important game in franchise history, and he didn't give somebody else in there to give him a chance to win. I think D'Amico Ryans did a bad job there, and obviously C.J. Stroud was a little bit more protected and comfortable in that second half. But they were terrible offensively. Really down. Should have benched him. You should have just cut your losses. But overall, that was a pathetic performance by Houston. I didn't like. Did you see that? It was right after the halftime started, and Ryan Clark is yelling at us from the desk, saying, "Boy, you got to let C.J. Stroud. This is where he proves to you that he's the guy. You know, this is where he. I wouldn't play him." Ryan, I wouldn't even get him out there.
He was trying to start the comeback story for the young man.
This is not time for narratives. We're trying to win a football game.
Yeah, I agree. It was a narrative, but nonetheless, New England is. I'm going to take this a different route. New England has followed the Dorothy, Wizard of Oz yellow brick road all the way to the Super Bowl. All right, fine. Listen, I can hardly complain about the regular season and the schedule. I give Vrabel a lot of credit for going worst to first in one season. With that said, in the playoffs, it's been an absolute joke on the teams that they're going to have to play after being the number 2 seed. They played a frazzled C.J. Stroud who threw 4 interceptions.
With no offensive line.
With no offensive line. Okay. And then now we're going to have to watch Jarrett Stidham. I'll regurgitate what I told you the first hour, brother. I know you disagree with me. That guy belongs playing football in the Canadian Football League.
There's no film on him. That's the one thing I'll say. There's no film on him.
It was a bad weekend for the NFL outside of the Rams and the Bears. The other games, and listen, I know we went toe-to-toe with the Buffalo game. We disagreed on fundamentally with the calls. Fine, but it was a ref show at the end of the game. A lot of people had an issue with that. The other games were unwatchable as well outside of that Ram and Bear game. So that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at with Stroud throwing 4 picks in with the NFL in total. You better enjoy the NFC Championship game. I'll tell you that. Enjoy the NFC Championship game.
That was the most important game in the history of the Houston Texans, a team that has had some playoff success but no conference championship to their name in their history. And you're not trying somebody else in the second half when the other guy has 4 interceptions and he can't complete a pass, and he had multiple plays that should have been interceptions on top of that. I think D'Amico Ryans did a bad job there. You want to stick to your guns? Fine. That's not the time. Not the time. Talk about killing comp? Please, get the offseason. How does it look now? You did nothing in the second half. You got 2 field goal drives. Can't do that. And I understand the weather's not good, and the one thing I looked at is, I'm not saying, if the Patriots scored every possession, we'd have a different conversation.
Right.
Nobody was going to win that game. The Patriots had no interest in winning that game. The defense put them in prime position, possession after possession. Stripping Will Anderson, 2 forced fumbles and 2 sacks. He was unbelievable in the game. They gave him plenty of opportunity to get back into it, and because of who you were relying on, couldn't do it.
An incredible defense that has gone to waste. And it's crazy because after year 1 of Stroud, when he didn't even play 17 games, threw for 4,000 yards and a plethora of touchdowns, I didn't think these were the he played them out of the game. Awful. Crazy to think. What's number 3?
Number 3.
The Detroit Lions fill their offensive coordinator void, hiring Drew Petzing, former Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator. What do you think about this, and could this be the move that will bring back the Lions among the NFC's elite after we saw an offensive unit struggle with Ben Johnson leaving for Chicago?
Yeah, I don't know enough about this guy to have a true opinion on it. It's a little weird, his background. You're taking somebody from the Cardinals, but he must have impressed them in the interview process. And they did this before Dable got hired. They did this before McDaniel got hired. Guys that I thought would be in the mix for that OC job, but he must have impressed. He must have sold them on a vision, and therefore, because of that, I got to get behind it, at least in the short term. It's a well-run team. I don't know enough about the guy to have an opinion whether it's a good or bad move, but it's a unglamorous move.
It's an important hire, to say the least, though. Campbell tried calling plays. And listen, I thought the Lions ended the season pretty well.
They did.
I really do. I thought they ended the season well, but I thought, the coordinators and whatnot, though, specifically on the offensive side, it hurt them to start the year. That offense was not clicking. They clearly missed Ben Johnson. So if this, what's his name, Damien? Give me his name again.
His name is Drew Petzing.
Okay. I don't know much either about Drew Petzing. I know he ran an awful offense with the Arizona, but I wouldn't wish upon anybody to have to call plays for Kyler Murray. But Campbell trusts him. The front office trusts him. I still think that's a well-run organization, and I think the Lions will be a lot better and a playoff team next year, only after winning 9-8.
Got a last place schedule too.
It was a bad year for them, and they went 9-8.
Bad schedule. They're gonna have the last place schedule too.
Dame, what's number 4? The 5-5 presented by our good friends over at Flagler Credit Union.
Number 4.
Among the current NFL head coaches openings, the Dolphins, Ravens, Bills, Steelers, Titans, Raiders, and the Browns. Which job is the most attractive, and what makes it stand out above the rest?
I mean, the Bills is the best job right now. Outside of that, if I'm going to go down the list in terms of what's available, I actually like the Giant job. It's gone. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Is this an issue with all these teams needing coaches?
It's 10 teams fired their head coach for the first time since 2022, but it's usually in the realm of like 6 to 8, and it's high this year, especially with 3 middling playoff teams as well.
I don't even know who to go with at this point. I guess it's Buffalo with Allen. But if
Raiders is a decent job too if you trust the ownership. But if you don't trust the ownership, it's a bad job.
And yeah, you trust Brady too. I mean, Brady's the GM. But let's exclude Buffalo. Let's exclude Buffalo. Who would you take as the runner-up? Because obviously you got Josh Allen. You have talent. You're going to be able to probably have a winner next year. Outside of Buffalo, who are you going to take? That's the question.
If I trusted the Raiders, I would take
because of the number 1 pick in Mendoza.
I would trust that. If I trusted the ownership, if I didn't trust the ownership and I didn't like the general manager, I wouldn't take it. But off of that, I would probably say them. Also, I guess we didn't even consider this. The Ravens. The Ravens are the best.
Ravens and Steelers, I probably would go.
Yeah. Those 3, I miss.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Those 3, and then you go probably Raiders.
I'd go Ravens and Steelers. Ravens and Steelers. And I know some people would think that the Ravens are maybe even a more attractive job than Buffalo. I'll even listen to that. But there are a ton of teams that need head coaches, and I don't know if there are enough qualified candidates, to be completely honest. Dame, what's number 5?
Number 5.
Major League Baseball free agency is off and running. Kyle Tucker signs with the Dodgers and Alex Bergman with the Cubs, to name a few. Question is simple. What surprised you up to now, if anything?
You know what didn't surprise me is Kyle Tucker going to the Dodgers. That did not surprise me. I was surprised that Bichette went to the Mets. I was also surprised that Bregman went to the Cubs. Those are the big-time guys that I was surprised made shifts. I thought Bregman was absolutely going to stay in Boston. He did not. But in terms of big surprises, those are the ones that come to mind. In terms of the best move, I think Bregman's going to be the biggest move, most useful move, all things considered, for the Chicago.
I'm not shocked that it's – hang on. Who's spending money? It's the Dodgers and the Mets. Baseball is so doomed for a lockout. It's Kyle Tucker going to the Dodgers is everything wrong with the sport.
Everything wrong.
Tucker signing that massive deal with the Dodgers is everything that is wrong with baseball. You might not play baseball for a full year. I'm willing to even say there are owners – no names, please. I've talked to some baseball reporters. The owners are beyond the small-time owners. Listen, I'm not going to feel bad for a billionaire who owns a baseball team and refuses to spend money. With that said, the quoter small-time billionaire owners, they're apparently fed up with how there's no cap, how they can't afford these players, and you might not play baseball for a year. So let's keep it at that. And Tucker signing with the Dodgers. And obviously I'm a baseball nerd. I'm going to watch all the baseball in the world, but I don't even have to watch next year because the Dodgers are going to be in the World Series. They're going to win the whole doggone thing. I don't get it. I just, and then the Mets too. I mean, the Mets splashing and.
Well, the Mets also let people walk. Keep in mind, Mets let Alonso walk. They let Edwin Diaz walk. I mean, they didn't.
But
they got rid of Nimmo.
It's the same three teams that are spending money. And how about Yankee fans? Oh, God, it's so funny listening to Yankee fans complaining that they're not in the like, it used to be the Yankees buying all these players up for 35 years, and now they finally met someone that's basically at the same level at them in the Dodgers. I urge you, Yankee fans are complaining about not spending money. Go look at Eric Cashman's payroll. Go look at the payroll for this season. As a Guardian fan, an Indians fan, I am laughing at you lot. I do not want to hear you guys complain how you're not spending money. Go look at how much you're paying your players that are on the roster next year.
Miami's hunting for a national championship. That same competitive fire lives at Lebovic Law Group. Attorneys Brian and Esther Lebovic, proud University of Miami alums. They'll be at the game tonight. They know what it takes to compete at the highest level. They bring a true championship mindset to every injury case they handle. At Lebovic Law Group, it's all about preparation, discipline, and relentless execution. When somebody's been injured and their future is on the line, they don't just show up. They show up and play to win. Every case is treated like game day. Every client gets a strategy built to finish strong, and they don't get paid unless they may win for you. If you or somebody knows somebody been injured, don't wait. Dial 561-888-8888. That's 561-888-8888. Or visit lebovic.com. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo on the other side of things. If you want to get in on the action tonight, because you got Miami and Indiana, 7:30 ESPN, you could bet on it on the Hard Rock Bet app. We are here at Hard Rock Stadium Monday night. It's the national championship at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. And for games this big, it's all about same-game parlays. Lock in your picks and make the biggest game of the year pay off. If you're going to the game, Hard Rock Bet is giving you $10 bonus bets to get in on the action. But if you're just watching the game out in Miami, head down to Hard Rock Cafe Miami, Duffy's North Miami Beach, American Social Miami, or Batch Brickell. Hard Rock Bet is dropping $10 bonus bets too. You just got to be there, and boom, you get $10 to throw around on the game. Do it today. It's on Hard Rock Bet. Go download the app today. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida. The wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Damian Perez. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3. The 4 p.m. hour on ESPN 106.3 is served by the Delray Beach Open. 140 miles per hour aces, parties, and all the good vibes. Get your tickets today at delraybeachopen.com.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Robert Gilman, partner and leader of Anshin's Real Estate Group.
Under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, 100% bonus depreciation has been permanently reinstated. Real estate businesses are now able to immediately expense the full cost of qualifying property. Even projects with millions in improvements can benefit from first-year expensing without any spending cap. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we strategically guide real estate businesses through these legislative changes to help them develop a long-term investment strategy and boost cash flow. If you're a real estate professional looking to enhance profitability and minimize tax liabilities, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Every athlete you see competing in the College Football Playoff National Championship had to find the right path to get there. At IMG Academy, helping student athletes find the right path to the next level is part of the game plan. From a world-renowned boarding school that develops student athletes every day, to premier sport camps where skill is honed and elevated, IMG Academy prepares student athletes for the next level, on and off the field. And through IMG Academy Plus, student athletes anywhere can receive unmatched college recruiting support or even a personal remote-based mental performance coach. Start your preparation with IMG Academy.
What's the Anajar Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most, getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation, 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stress light. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and if you love football, you're in the right place. ESPN 106.3 has it all. This is the finish line. One night, one trophy, one champion crown. It's the College Football Playoff National Championship game. Miami and Indiana. Coverage starts at 6:30 right here on ESPN 106.3.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
When the goal is to get to the next level, preparation matters. IMG Academy delivers immersive sports camps, a nationally recognized boarding school, and college recruiting resources. Start your preparation today with IMG Academy, and go take your college readiness to that next level. It's Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo, the National Championship preview show for Indiana, Miami tonight, presented by Flagler Credit Union, the Lebovic Law Group, and IMG Academy. We're here at Duffy's Sports Grill in Plantation. We'll be on site tonight at Hard Rock Stadium for a 7:30 kick between Indiana and Miami. We get Damian Perez helping us out back at the City Play Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Up until 6 p.m. today, we got you streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X. We have the games from yesterday and the day before in the divisional round. Now you're going to have the Bills out. You have the Texans out. You have the 49ers. By the way, the 49ers, they just run out of gas. They just ran out. We didn't even talk about that Seahawks game.
They were a disgrace. No, they were a disgrace.
Here's the thing.
They were a disgrace.
You want to talk about a team that deserves an excuse, it's them.
Fine, but that game was a disgrace. They didn't even bother getting off the bus, brother.
Yeah.
And like you said, the injuries finally caught up to him. The lack of everything probably finally got caught up to him. But it was a 30-point game for the final 2 quarters of the game. Like, you want to know I'm upset? I lost some money with our good friends at Hard Rock Bet. I bought into you.
I thought San Francisco would play well in that game.
I bought into it.
They just ran out.
You convinced me. You convinced me on them.
They ran out.
And also, you never have to convince me to bet against Sam Darnold. All right? You never have to convince me to bet against
that guy. Didn't do that much
in
of the game.
Didn't have to. He got spotted, what, a 14-point lead by the defense before you could blink, 7-point lead.
First play of the game, a kickoff return touchdown. Yeah,
and then they forced a turnover right after that, and they got the ball at the 10.
2 turnovers in the first 4 possessions. I mean, geez, it's hard to win in that situation when you already spot the team that much.
But, good cut. It obviously was Shanahan. I mean, like you said, they overachieved for all intents and purposes. Christian McCaffrey was a one-man army all year. Are you buying into Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, that defense is great.
Okay.
They got the best defense remaining.
And now we get the rematch of that Thursday night football game. That was one of the best ones I've ever seen on the history of Amazon Prime. That obviously, Kyle, with the 2-point conversion where he fumbled it. Or no, he threw an incompletion. They called it a fumble. They recovered. I mean, that was one of the crazier games we've seen on the schedule this year. So I still think the Rams pull it out. But I'm down on McVay. Like you said, we're a little down on McVay with how conservative that he was in the ball game against the Bears. But comparative to the AFC Championship game, I mean, it's night and day.
That game could go either way.
Correct.
And I do think the winner of that game will be favored in the Super Bowl regardless of who they play.
Do you think that the Broncos will play inspired with Stidham and prove to everyone that they belong in that ball game?
They might blow up. They might. You got to acknowledge that, playing with backup quarterback. The one thing about it is one of the first things Sean Payton did was bring Jarrett Stidham in. And he's been a backup there for about 3.5 years. And he doesn't play because Bo Nix always plays, but he's been in the system, which is why some of the people who I cannot believe try to act like they got an understanding of sports are sitting there thinking that the Broncos should make an emergency call to a quarterback that hasn't played in forever. Like,
go Phil Rivers.
Jarrett Stidham's been in the system for 4 years. You're going with him. There is nobody else that could give you a chance to win in that situation. There's no way. No way.
You wouldn't call Derek Carr?
No. No.
What about
Hang
on, Kyle. Can they trade for Joe Flacco?
I think
it's a joke. By the way.
I think Nick Foles should give Jarrett Stidham a call, and I think he should sort of revitalize him because he's realizing he's playing with house money. He's got a good defense, and they got a very winnable game because the Patriots are not that great either.
I need to see the last time he threw a pass.
The Patriots are not that great either.
The last time he threw a pass, 2023. He did appear in 2025 and 2024, but I see no quarterback statistics. So 2023. By the way, I was dead wrong.
Played.
I was dead wrong on the on the one. No, I said he played somewhere. He didn't play anywhere. The Bills. It was New England for 2 years and Vegas.
Yeah.
And the Vegas is probably what I was thinking about. Why I think he should be playing in the Canadian Football League, but we'll see. Obviously, Sean Payton. Outside of Bo Nix being like Baker-esque of scrambling, maneuvering around the pocket, all Sean Payton does is throw to the running back. How hard is it to throw it in the backfield? So who knows? Maybe Denver will be able to show up. They don't go downfield. Like Cortland Sutton was a Pro Bowler. I'm still trying to figure out how the hell that guy is a Pro Bowler because that offense.
Yeah, they take a couple shots a game and it's mostly dink and dunk their way down the field.
So maybe Peyton will be able to put together a game plan for that.
The one thing you know is he's going to know the system. He knows the system. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, I'm just not looking.
And the one thing is there's no film on him. So I wonder what that will look like. If there's no film on him, there's a chance that he could surprise people. And I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for that. Go shock the world. Everybody's counting you out. You got games at home too. Go shock the world. All you need is a couple drives. All you need.
I don't want. Do you want to see Jarrett Stidham in the Super Bowl? Now we're being selfish, right? Now I'm being selfish, similar to what I told you earlier. And you called me out on it. Fair play to you. You hold me accountable. But that's why I say, much rather see Allen in this game, but don't throw for. They don't have four turnovers. But
you know who is reliable in a big spot? It's Men's Only Medical who can help you out with your concierge.
Absolutely. That is Doc Allen. And Doc Al, listen, he texted me. He's got us on at the tailgate. Doc Al's got Russo and Rizzo, the national championship special, on at the tailgate. And, folks, if you need a primary doctor, two things. Number one, it is the one-stop shop men's health clinic. It's the first of its kind in West Palm Beach. You see a ton of women's health clinics around town. This is a one-stop shop for men. If you're dealing with hair loss, Doc Al could help you out. If you need a skin assessment, if you want to see how much you're dealing with body fat, all right, if you think you got a little too much body fat going on, you want to do weight management and nutrition control, go hit up Doc Al Mental Medical. All right, that's the health clinic side of things. And then as far as the concierge healthcare service, Doc Al's my primary. He's my primary doctor. When I moved here from Peoria, Illinois, I needed to figure out a doctor, and I figured it out with Mentally Medical. It's a concierge healthcare service. What does that mean? I got Doc Al's number. If I got something going on, I was just sick. I texted Doc Al, hey, Doc, think I have the flu. Here are my symptoms. What do you think? Go get this. Boom, boom, boom. Riz, do you feel the need that you think you need to come in? I could get you in today. No, Doc, I'm good. All right, perfect. That is how it handled. It's not waiting online with an operator, and it's not waiting a month to go see the doctor. Go visit Doc Al Mentally Medical, North Dixie Highway. Go see what Doc Al could do for you. Tell him Riz sent you.
We'll do a little game plan for greatness on the other side of things. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Miami's always hunting for a national championship. I'm attorney Brian Lebovic. As proud UM alums, we know how to compete at the highest level.
I'm Esther Lebovic. At the Lebovic Law Group, we bring a championship mindset to every injury case. Preparation, discipline, and relentless execution.
When a client's future is on the line, we don't just show up, we play to win.
Don't wait. Dial 8-561-888-8888. No fee unless we win for you.
Visit Lebovic.com.
Go Miami!
Hiring a lawyer is an important decision. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Funnel cake. Rise. Farm animals.
Wake up, South Florida Fair.
Don't tell me what's fair. What? The South Florida Fair is open? Why didn't you say so sooner? Use the free park and ride from the mall at Wellington Green and Palm Beach Central High School and avoid traffic. Visit southfloridafair.com for details or download the Fair app. Open now through February 1st in West Palm Beach.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit signoramawpb.com.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Robert Gilman, partner and leader of Anshin's Real Estate Group.
Under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, 100% bonus depreciation has been permanently reinstated. Real estate businesses are now able to immediately expense the full cost of qualifying property. Even projects with millions in improvements can benefit from first-year expensing without any spending cap. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we strategically guide real estate businesses through these legislative changes to help them develop a long-term investment strategy and boost cash flow. If you're a real estate professional looking to enhance profitability and minimize tax liabilities, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Every athlete you see competing in the College Football Playoff National Championship had to find the right path to get there. At IMG Academy, helping student athletes find the right path to the next level is part of the game plan. From a world-renowned boarding school that develops student athletes every day to premier sport camps where skill is honed and elevated, IMG Academy prepares student athletes for the next level, on and off the field. And through IMG Academy Plus, student athletes anywhere can receive unmatched college recruiting support or even a personal remote-based mental performance coach. Start your preparation with IMG Academy.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stressed life. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
You know, with the national championship tonight, Miami's hunting for that championship. That same competitive fire lives at Lebovic Law Group. Attorneys Brian and Esther Lebovic, proud University of Miami alums. They know what it takes to compete at the highest level. They bring a true championship mindset to every injury case they handle. At Lebovic Law Group, it's all about preparation, discipline, relentless execution. When somebody's been injured and their future is on the line, they don't just show up, they play to win. Every case is treated like game day. Every client gets a strategy built to finish strong, and they don't get paid unless they win for you. If you or somebody you love has been injured, don't wait. Dial 561-888-8888. That's 561-888-8888. Or visit lebovic.com. Colin Russo and Mike Rizzo live here at Duffy's in Plantation. Indiana, Miami, 7:30 kick on ESPN tonight in the national championship of the college football playoff. We got to figure out how to win this game, who's going to win, and more importantly, what do they need to do in order to hoist that trophy at the end of the night. Let's game plan for greatness with Men's Only Medical.
Men, games aren't won on Friday night. They're won Monday through Thursday.
You find out life's this game of inches.
It's about preparation, it's about discipline, and it's about showing up ready to dominate.
That's gonna make the difference between winning and losing.
And now, your game plan for greatness. Brought to you by Men's Only Medical. Visit mensonlymedical.com.
Clear eyes, full hearts.
Let's go play some football. Let's go, baby!
Well, folks, you've been hearing me talk about Doc Al all show over at Men's Only Medical. If you need a primary doctor and if you need any of this sort of hair loss solutions, heart solutions, skin care, weight management, nutrition, go see Doc Al North Dixie Highway at Men's Only Medical. Doc Al, huge Miami fan, so I will be taking Miami. Folks, this is Game Plan for Greatness presented by Men's Only Medical, where Colin and I break down the big game. Usually it's Monday Night Football on the NFL side, but it is Championship Monday in college football. And I'm going to go with Doc Al's Hurricanes and give my game plan on how Miami needs to win the game. It's simple, folks. You've been hearing it regurgitate all week for Miami. Win the line of scrimmage. You have the size advantage, weight advantage, height advantage. Every single advantage you can shake a stick at on paper, Miami has on the offensive line and the defensive line. Win the line of scrimmage. Carbon copy game plan what Miami had against Ohio State. Make Fernando Mendoza make tough decisions. Take them to the ground a couple of times. Make them go 3 and out. Force them off the field. Win the turnover battle and run the football. Keep doing what you've been doing with Carson Beck. Not letting him make mistakes. Not letting him maybe do a little too much, which led the losses against Louisville and SMU. They've had a brilliant game plan for Beck all college football playoff season long. Run the football, control the clock, win the line of scrimmage. That's the game plan for greatness for the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, if you're thinking about Indiana here, it's don't make it too complicated. You got to stay ahead of the sticks. You don't want third and longs. You want to make sure you don't take sacks. And I think it's important for Indiana to keep Miami away from developing a little bit of routine and momentum. What they did against Ole Miss, they were able to run the football. They were able to do that against Ohio State. They were able to do that against Texas A&M. That is where Miami's at their best. Don't give them 7-8 minute drives. Get them off the field. Get them in 3rd and longs. And what they did against Ole Miss is they were unbelievable on 3rd down, especially with those wide receiver screens. Don't give them those opportunities. If you get them make them convert 3rd and 11s. Because I wager that if Indiana forces those types of plays, they're not going to have the same luck they did against Ole Miss. If you're Indiana, the most important thing is that you keep the game in your control. If you let Miami dictate the pace of the game, dictate how much time, who has the ball, and dictate who controls the line of scrimmage, you're in a lot of trouble. But if you're able to control the controllables, keep everything in front of you, don't let any big chunk plays happen, stop the run, and protect Mendoza, I think you're going to be fine. I think you're going to be fine. 1 through 22, you are definitely more experienced and more put together than in Miami is, and you're going to be better coached. I understand Chris Paul's done a great job for Miami, but the one thing is you're not out-coaching Cignetti. Not at this point in the season. Cignetti has, done dances around every coach he has coached against to this point, and I don't think that you're going to see an Indiana that's ill-prepared. I don't think you're going to see that.
Now, we've had local programming on ESPN 1063 since noon. And if you remember, it was theoretically speaking from noon to 2:30 with Christian and Theo. Christian and Theo are on the Canes. Both of them picked Miami to win the game. As much as I game plan for Miami to win the game, I'm on the Indiana train tonight, guys. I am. I'm a Hurricane fans. I'm sorry. Miami fans, I'm sorry, but they're a wagon right now. And Colin and I, we've brought it up over the last couple of weeks. It seems like Indiana got its swagger once they beat the Buckeyes. And give Miami credit. Miami did beat Ohio State as well, but I think it was a little different for Indiana. It proved to them that they could go on a run and they could win the whole kit and caboodle. 38-3 against Alabama. A game against Oregon in which it was over on the first snap when it was a pick six. They seem like the team of destiny to me. They had the number 1 pick in Mendoza. Doc Al, I'm sorry, partner. I really like the Hoosiers big tonight. I do. I don't. Like I said, carbon copy from last year's national championship. Miami probably gets out to an early lead, but then the Indiana effect takes over.
We got you up until 6 p.m. today, but before we get to that, let's get to Damian Perez behind the glass of the City Place Studios in West Palm Beach. Damian, what do you think is going to happen in tonight's game? Who do you think has the advantage? Who do you think is going to win?
I'll tell you what, I don't know if I'm drinking the juice, but I'm buying into Miami.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
We're
Why?
a pep rally. We're a pep
What do you
rally.
think is going to happen tonight that gives Miami a chance?
The magic and the mojo.
Oh,
we are on Russo and Rizzo, right?
Dude, it's there with my. But
I like that for
Indiana. I like that for Indiana. Indiana's got the theme, magic, and mojo. They're 15-0. They could be one of the. Like I said, Colin and I, we'd have to look this up. We're shooting from the hip, but we're about 90% sure they'd be the first team in NCAA history to go 16-0.
Now, on a serious note, I do think Miami, in a sense, is playing with house money. No one really expects Miami to win this game.
It's a home game. Baloney on that.
They're going to go out there and play with nothing to lose.
This isn't – listen, I agree with you. Against Ohio State, Miami was that. It definitely was that. I agree with you on that.
You've won 3 games.
Yeah, dude, you're not sneaking up on anybody anymore.
They're 7.5-point favorites at home, quote unquote.
That shows, in my opinion, that just shows how good Indiana is and how much free money that they are tonight. Indiana has been free money for 2 months. Put that in perspective. And listen, I'm going the gambling route. By the way, that was Game Plan for Greatness presented by Men's Only Medical. But go to the money route, too. Indiana has been a wagon since the Penn State game. Go look at their covers. They have blown everybody out not named Ohio State. And since that Ohio State game, I mean, listen, we can sit here and talk about if Oregon and Alabama are overrated. That's fine. If you don't think they were very good, okay, fine. But 38-3, and whatever that godforsaken score was against Oregon, that was a 30-point game for 3.5 quarters, I don't know, guys. Listen, I appreciate the pep rally that happened on noon to 2 from Miami, but I got to be realistic. All right, I got to be realistic here. And I hate Indiana. All right, I'm rooting for Miami tonight. As Big Ten Mike and household Buckeye Mike, I can't stand Indiana. They scare the hell out of me. They're probably the new threat in the Big Ten. It scares me. I want Miami. But how can we ignore what has happened? How can I ignore what has happened in the 2 games they have played in this playoff?
One thing about it, too, is every single college football, most of them, there's usually been one juggernaut, and everybody else is sort of at tiers below. The team that's the runner-up in the semifinal, the team that makes it to the semifinals are usually the better teams. Hey, they could win games. They're capable. They're there. But then once you get – there's levels to this. There's like 3 levels in this playoff. There's the bottom level where it's James Madison and Tulane. There's 4 levels. There's the bottom level where James Madison and Tulane are. There's the third level where teams like Oklahoma, Alabama, all those teams at Texas A&M, good, deserve to make it, weren't as great as the top-of-the-line teams. And then you get to, level 2 is where the Georgia is, Ohio State is there. In my opinion, Miami's probably somewhere in there. Ole Miss is somewhere in there. And then I think you get to level 1. That's where Indiana is. I just think you're going to see that there's levels to this.
Like, it's reminiscent of last year.
Of
it's
a
the
lot
best
of
way
years.
I could.
Years.
Not even, but even the year before, the Buckeyes are blowing everybody out. I don't know. The hot team, man. It's always the hot team. And Miami's not winning like Ohio State was last year. All right, right. Indiana's winning like Ohio State was last year with the points.
With more so too.
Yeah, even more. Even more. You are 100% correct there. All right. The Buckeyes had that game against
Texas.
Texas was close. Texas and Notre Dame. Notre Dame made things a little interesting in the fourth quarter. But other than that, it's why I think it's Indiana tonight. I don't know.
They've
Indiana
thrashed the
tonight.
competition, which is why I'm a little nervous about it. But we'll get into some more preview of that national championship from 5 to 6. We got you up until 6, but again, if you missed any of the show today, you're going to want to go listen back. Go to Russo and Rizzo on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places, and you can catch us commercial-free listening back there, or go watch it back at ESPN West Palm on Twitter and Facebook, or ESPN South Florida on YouTube. That's where you can find us. That's Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. We'll take a timeout, and on the other side of things, we will do a lot more into this national championship game, which is kicking off at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN at Hard Rock Stadium. Will that home field make a difference? Is this going to be Indiana's game to lose? Are we going to see Miami harness a little bit more magic? Are they going to muddy it up and keep it close? That's going to be the real questions we have to answer throughout the next hour as we continue onward here. Stick with it, because you got myself, Mike Rizzo, Christian Catt, Theo Dorsey hanging around for a little post-game action as well at some point after the game. Who knows? Nonetheless, Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Russo and Rizzo taking a time out here on ESPN 106.3.
Mike Rizzo here with the Sports Business Minute presented by the Florida Atlantic MBA in Sport Management program. And then there were 2. The College Football National Championship this year will feature the Miami Hurricanes and the Indiana Hoosiers at Hard Rock